Welcome to another edition of Outlaw Radio, live from the basement. My name is Kevin Barnes. I am the mayor of Chocolate City, the mouthpiece of the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer. And this is what we do on Monday nights. So, welcome to the show. Share the show, share the show. Let everybody know that we are live. I'm not alone. I got my homeboy with me. I don't even got to call him a co host, I call him my homeboy. Mr. Carter, what's popping with you, man?
No doubt, man. Life was popping, y'all. How y'all doing out there? And welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor. I'm all y'all, holistic health, the wellness coach. Come on, Carter. Peace to the family. I'm also the one who brings you Nature's Nature Herbs and Supplements. You can find it on Facebook, Nature's Nature Herbs and Supplements. Or you could go to my health page, Help Yourself, Heal Thyself, and ask somebody about me. Or you could go to my page, Kamar Carter, and inbox me. Or you could just call me, 414-949-2122. Let's put a package together for you.
That's what's happening, man. Support black business. Support the movement. Grab you some Outlaw Radio apparel. It's a lot going on. As usual, it's a lot going on. We do black premium news for grown and sexy black people, sophisticated people of color who are intellectually sound, right? And they're also about free thinking and critical thinking. So welcome to the show. If you fit that description, even if you don't, stick around. You might learn something that'll help you transition to that point. Deion James, my partner, he said, boy, I was listening to your ass in New Orleans. He was in New Orleans bumping Outlaw Radio. That's what's up. Deion big time, though. Deion is big time supporter. Deion is a big time supporter of Outlaw Radio. I hope you had a good time down there. Said he's back now. He said, did the guy have a gun or what? We're going to get to it. We ain't going to put the rooter before the tutor. I want people to get in, man, gather around the fire for the scroll that I deliver, to quote Brother Jay. Let's see. Hey, Deion says, what's up to you, man?
Hey.
What's up to you, man? That's what's up. Sean Moore is on the check. I'm waiting on him. Okay, he got his outlet. Let me make sure he got his audio straight. Sean, you good? I don't know if he can hear us. Sean Mo, you good? What's happening? Yeah, his signal ain't right. Signal ain't right.
Yeah, I can hear you.
But listen, huh?
I'm about to use my other phone.
One thing you can count on Sean Moore is
device because this one
come in the studio and got to go change devices like 5 times during the show, right? But it's Outlaw Radio, man. This is what we do, man. And Kamar, I don't know. I think I had epiphany. First of all, let me ask you, how was your weekend, man? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good, man. It was relaxed. You know what I'm saying? I kicked back. I didn't have nothing planned. You know what I mean? I was just able to just not do nothing.
Okay.
It felt great. I almost felt guilty, right?
Right. Shout out to anybody out there who's so busy that they feel guilty when they got some downtime, right? Like, I know I should be doing something, right? That's a good and a bad thing. JoJo, I see you out there.
Hey, Kevin, man, I don't think we on Facebook, man.
We should be. According to this, we're live. I don't know. Let me I'm seeing the feed.
YouTube.
I'm seeing the feed on Facebook. I'm seeing it live on Facebook. Yes, sir. I'm watching it live. That's how Deion James is on YouTube. Shane Krum is on YouTube. If you're on Facebook and you can see the show, let me know. Holla at me. Let me see. JoJo's Facebook. He's watching. Shout out to Melody Williams. I got your apparel, sis. I'm a ship it. I know you. Well, you let me know how you prefer me to get it to you. She said she's here on the books. Okay. She's here on Facebook. Melody Williams. Shout out to Melody Williams.
I ain't getting no alert. What you do? Okay. You ain't your friend no more or something?
Right. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's funny how people always blame me for anything technological. Like technology wise, when something fails, everybody like, oh, Kev fucked up. Right? I'm not in control of the notification.
Damn it, this nigga done blocked me.
I got you blocked. I've never blocked a person in my life.
I need some help, sir. Man, I don't know what's going on here, man. I ain't getting the feeds, you know what I'm saying? Man. I ain't getting the alerts that the show on.
Maybe, man, I'm telling you, man, I gotta beg to be on the show, man. I don't understand it, bro.
Man, the funny thing is, Sean, you complain. Sean comes in with the walkie-talkie audio time and time again, and he be mad at me like, "Yeah, man, why ain't on the show?" I'm like, dude, come on, man. At least if you gonna get at me, Sean, have your audio right when you come in, man. Like you can't come in talking like sounding like T-Pain. I got him bang to get the link to the show. What the fuck you say?
I'm all right. How y'all doing tonight?
Man, we're good, man. We're happy to be alive, man. Let me see. Yes, like I said, Melody Williams, I got your hoodie. I messed up on one order. I messed up on Sean Moore's order. I gotta give myself one of these. And out of all the people whose order I could mess up on, I messed up on his.
Right.
I will literally never hear the end of this.
Why?
And I still don't understand it because if my memory serves me correct, I remember buying his specifically, saying this is for him. So I don't know, man. I don't know if a box fell off the back of a truck or something, and somebody's running around with your hoodie on act or something. I don't know, man. It was weird. Every other order was shot. It was tight. So people who will be getting them in the mail, and people who I dropped them off to, and shout out to people who I drop them off to, because a lot of times they just be wanting to holler at your boy. Like, man, I just wanted to meet you. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's what's up. But shout out to MC Tone. MC Tone is out here doing things.
Man, I was hanging out with MC Tone the other night, man.
Okay.
Friday night. I was at an event. MC Tone was the host. The host was the most.
Always hosting everything. He said, I had downtime today, so I picked up 2 hoes. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. That's what's happening, MC Tone. So look, shout out to Tierman Spencer, man. I actually got out the house this weekend. I went to an event, right? Shout out to Tierman Spencer. He and I had a we kicked it a little bit. I ain't been out the house like cohabitating with my people in a minute. So it was kind of crazy, but it was a good time. It was a good conversation. A lot of understanding. And shout out to Anthony Courtney, because I went to Coffee Makes You Black and Anthony Courtney greeted me. And we had a conversation that was very poignant. You know, it's like when you sit and you talk to one of the elders, somebody that's wise, like somebody that's beyond your years, but they're very, very wise. I mean, beyond your years. I ain't talking about 5, 6 years older than you. I'm talking about got 20, 30 on you, something like that. Right. The knowledge that they give to you a lot of time, man, is it's invaluable. And and it wasn't a lot of fat on the conversation. Just in, a very brief, efficient conversation, he said a lot to me. So, it was a good time, man. So I had a good weekend, man. My boy played basketball. I put some of his highlights up. The boy's gifted, man. I got to thank God for him. So I had a good time, man. I had a good weekend, man. So
good.
Yeah, like I said, I got out. I got to deliver some hoodies. Meet some of the people.
You're just gonna keep bringing it up. You already said that a couple times, bro.
I know, but I'm making a point.
Okay.
I said that, but I'm saying I got out to meet people. I got out to meet people who listen to the show. That's why you should never cut me off. I know where I'm going. I don't need no GPS. I don't need no.
I just wanted to, I just want to make sure that you did that one specifically. Why is this?
Don't it sound like he insulted me in Spanish, Kamar? I'm like, is it supposed to be subtitles at the bottom of this shit? I can't hear shit he said. I got people in the chat room. Your audio is jacked, Sean. We got to get you right. And it ain't nothing I'm doing. Look, man, no hand.
I ain't believing that shit. I am not believing that shit.
It'll be in the chat room in a minute. Like, what the fuck, Sean say? Courtney, she said, "Oh, we know you don't go anywhere." But I'm saying there's a method to my madness. There's a method to my madness. Shout out to Tiasha Arthur. She says, good evening, Kev, Kamar, Sean, and the Outlaw family. Good evening, good evening. She said, good evening to Courtney in the chat room. Yes, yes. Listen, man. Once again, we're coming to the end of Black History Month. This controversial Black History Month. I didn't know.
And we done lost friends and shit.
I didn't know. Well, I didn't know that celebrating or acknowledging Black History Month was offensive to some people. And I'm not taking a shot at anybody because there's more than one person who's expressed this sentiment to me. I didn't know some people feel like if you're Black and you really acknowledge Black History Month and you say, yeah, man, I like this shit, it's like some cool shit. It's like, no, Black history is America's world history, it's American history, and it should be celebrated every day and all that kind of stuff. And it's like like I don't know that shit. I just be happy with 1 month. I didn't know. So I learned that when I was this many years old that some people have a problem with Black History Month. So closing out Black History Month, Kamar, the first part of the show, and Sean, the first part of the show that I want to start out with is, and to the chat room. By the way, the number is 262-202-5131. What do you think about what's the legacy? What is Black History Month? What does this moment at the end of this month in 2023 as a person of color, what does this encapsulate for you as a person of color? I want to start with my brother Kamar. Black History Month.
Black history. When I talk about our history, I always talk about tradition. You know what I mean? Way before slavery. You know what I mean? So when I say Black history and what is it? Okay, let's talk about what it really means. You know what I mean? Let's get back to our traditions. Let's get back to some of our spiritual practices. You know what I mean? The way we took care of ourselves, and then pull that up to now and carry on from here on out. You know what I mean? And take that part of our history. Let's dig back and get some of that tradition and live with that.
Okay, there's some people who make New Year's resolutions every year in January, but they're mad because somebody acknowledges, and people who celebrate St. Patrick's Day who are mad that somebody celebrates Black History Month. Sean, what you think? Black history, what does it encapsulate?
Well, I don't know why I got to follow Dr. Kamar, but yeah. No, for me, man, I don't celebrate the month of February as Black History Month. I try to celebrate every day, man, by honoring those that sacrifice for me. You know what I mean? By honoring those that have set standards, that have basically helped invent and build America. I don't honor. I don't honor just in the month of February, man. So Black History Month for me does not exist. It's Black History every day.
Right. Okay. Right. I don't know. I feel like it's semantics. I mean, people say, well, I celebrate Black history every day, but you still celebrate Black history in some form. So if I say I acknowledge that it's Black History Month, that represents a variation.
Hey, and how about this, man? How about this part, man? People always talk about how we ain't got shit here in this country. You know what I mean? They don't never acknowledge us. I mean, well, what the fuck is this?
It's what the white man gave you. It's what he's allowing. He's allowing you.
That's my point right there. That's my point right there. See? Those same people always talking about we ain't got nothing. They don't acknowledge us. They don't, you know what I'm saying? And here it is, you get a month, you know what I mean, to be acknowledged, and it's a problem with that too.
See, but so my belief is that those who have that argument, Kamar, they don't even realize the value that we have put into this, right? Every time that they wash their clothes, it's because of a Black person, right? Basically, everything that they use or do has been influenced by Black people. Exactly. So, it's, and I don't want to use the word ignorance because it seems like I'm belittling or talking about them, which I'm not, but but
Right.
that's what it is. It's an
Right.
ignorance on our behalf, and shit, it
I,
ain't your fault. You know what I
once
mean?
again, I don't. I mean, what's the problem with somebody saying, let's take a month to really recognize the depth of the history? Because you can get it 365. And I think one of the things is, and if you invest in it starting right now and we track your progress until next February, you'll enjoy the next Black History Month more. If you really start doing what people say, I do about it every day. Nigga, I do Black History every morning. I wake up Black History, nigga. Before I go to sleep, nigga, Black History, nigga. Niggas be lying. No, they don't. They be lying. No, they don't. They pro black asses. Catch that motherfucker around June. He fuck all these niggas. I'm out here. I thought you was Black History every
Hey,
day.
hey, look at how Mexicans do Cinco de Mayo. They put flags and shit on their cars and ride around, and they ain't got nowhere to go. They just out here
They
showing they
out
shit
here.
off. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But they just out here. You know what I mean? Showing they shit off, man. Yeah, it's okay. That's what the people gave you. So
man.
what? What's wrong with a motherfucker giving you something?
I don't feel like nobody's giving us anything. I think it's a
That don't mean
no-brainer. I think
right.
it's a no-brainer to have at least a month that focuses on people of color in this country. Everything about this whole month is featuring something about them every day. I don't think
Right.
that's wrong with that.
It's,
And
it's not.
this extends into another kind of path of conversation, but I want to check my chat room. If you're in the chat room, you can also call in. The number is 262-202-5131. It's Outlaw Radio live from the basement. Monday night, I got my partner, the ghetto witch doctor. I got Sean Moe. He got his audio popping. So we in like Flynn. Let me see where did I start at? Oh, MC Tone said he was agreeing with me. He said, "Do we have a damn voice box?" I told you sounded like Roger Troutman for a minute. Dion James said, "Where Bay at?" She in the chat room, Dion. She's in the chat room.
Look for her in the chat room. She in there somewhere.
Right. She in the chat room, man. She asked where Bay
You
at,
just
man.
gotta look for
Right. He
Yeah.
said, "Where Bay at? Where Bay at?" She'll speak up. Hey, Dion. Right. He said, Jesse Perry said they couldn't hear you. This was when your audio was skipping. Tiasha Arthur says Sean flip phone messing up also.
I
Every
wasn't on
time,
the Wi-Fi. Look, we gonna stop all that. You ain't gotta read all of those, bro.
no, I'm running down the line. I run it down the line. This is how we do it. This is how we do it, right? MC Tone said Tiasha is my girl. That's what's up. I remember when you was on here, MC Tone. She was shouting you out. She was a bunch of people were shouting you out. That was a funny show. We got to get MC Tone back on. He's a friend of the show. He's always in the chat room. Tiasha Arthur said, right. Erica Ville, she said, you just go along with the programming. Okay. Am I programmed? I'm here to find out. What them young folks say? I'm here for it. Am I programmed? Melody said Black History Month is every month. Of course. I mean, listen, if you are a person of color, your blackness has to stay on your mind all the time because everywhere you go, you're reminded of it. So I don't know how every day couldn't be Black History Month. Like if you're black, like a real foundational Black American, the things in your home represent us. So your home is damn near like a museum. You walk
Right.
around, you got black paintings, you got black art, you got all kinds of pictures of your heroes. So I mean, people say that like it makes them seem so profound. Black history every day for me. Wow, I'm so impressed. You a fucking genius, right? Like, how did you manage to pull that off? Jesse Parrish said it was Negro Week originally, so at least you got a month now. Said MC Tone invented smoking weed. I believe you did, MC Tone. I wouldn't put it past you, right? I wouldn't put it past you.
How
But
old
it's
is
Monday
Tom?
night. Huh?
How old is Tom?
I have
Jesus.
no clue. He's OG status. I know that.
Jesus.
Yeah, boy was born in Jerusalem, old Jerusalem. He came here on a manger. No, listen. The reason why I was talking about, and this is the first year that I'm really even creating a synopsis of what I really gained from Black History Month this year. Because guess what? I gained something from it. I I understood some new understanding. And what I realized is on this show, we always talk about being on code. And we always talk about the Black agenda. But what is the black agenda? Because there's different. I'm figuring out that different black people have different agendas.
Yep.
Like, so I'm saying be on code like it's some universal understandings that we've all kind of absorbed from growing up in the community. But there are people who have totally, like, their priorities are totally different from mine. So I understand a person who would say to me, Kev, fuck that shit. Why you even acknowledge Black History Month? Because it's Black History every day. Before I would have been like, man, get your ass out. Get away from me. I don't want to hear that shit. Now I really be like, I understand what you mean. It's almost like I gained another level in my spectrum of blackness. I've talked about my spectrum before that go from mulatto to Nigerian blue. And within every realm of that spectrum, there's some personality traits and some things that occur amongst that tone. I know that sounds racist, right? Like I'm saying, like light-skinned black people act different from dark-skinned black people. It's
Just
true.
a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's true. How could you not, if you know that the light-skinned Negro was the house Negro, who was the first elite level? Like, so this led me back to my research about the Black Boule. I don't know if y'all know who the Black Boule is. Do y'all know who the Black Boule is? Boule. This
I
is
don't know
not
personally.
well, yeah, I don't know. I don't be at their house, right? right. I didn't. He ain't dropped me off this morning, right? Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't have coffee this morning. But,
so check this out though. It sounds like something. It sounds like an insult. It sounds like an adjective, right? It sounds like I could say that to, oh man, yo, boule ass. It sounds like that, but it's actually a thing. It is the original Black Greek organization, Omega Psi Pi, I think. And this, you can look this up on the internet.
I think it's Sigma Pi Phi.
Sigma Pi Phi, is it? Okay, I can stand corrected. You know,
I may be wrong, but I think I'm accurate. Shit.
Okay. And
let the chat room tell us.
Right. Hey, you know what? You know what we do on Outlaw Radio, Sean, is anything we say, you go research it. If you're wrong, if I'm wrong, we all learn. Somebody said, no, if it was that. So it's a Black Greek, it's the Black Greek original Black Greek organization. Now let me tell you about this. Agenda, the word agenda. What does that mean? People do people really know what an agenda is? When I walk in a room or I walk in a place and we're supposed to have a meeting or we're supposed to sit down and I say, do you have an agenda? Do you know what that means?
Trying to do.
Huh?
Something we're trying to do. We're creating a plan to make something happen. A certain thing to happen.
But the agenda is a little bit more sudden, Kamar. It's not making a plan for what we want to happen. It's telling you what we're going to do today.
It outlines exactly, it's
what
a
we're
list
gonna
that
do.
Outlines it, yeah.
And a good agenda says it has time. It breaks down the actual time from 7 to 9:30. This is what we're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
At 9:30, we going here, and this is what that's an agenda. Not, well, tomorrow we hope to, or next week we hope to. That's a plan.
Right.
That we're gonna do this. It's gonna take weeks. It's gonna take time for this to develop. An agenda is what we're doing today, right? So when I talk about the Black Boule, I did the research on this organization. They have the breakdown of who's actually a member of this. There's a group of Black people who the average median income of their members is $2 million. Right?
How do I join that? Shit.
It doesn't. No, you can go to the website and see it, but it don't say click here to join, Sean.
Right.
I went to their website. Shout out to Ram Muhammad. Because we got into this conversation one day on the phone, and we've done a show about it before. And I see Black people walk around. I'm a Black Greek. I'm not knocking you if you're in a frat or sorority, right? But you say I'm a Black Greek. Secret society. Masons have their own deal. Secret society, different agenda. You feel what I'm saying? So no, it's almost like no wonder our community is counterproductive and dysfunctional because nobody has the same agenda, but everybody think they got the agenda, right? So when I say Black Boule, this is a group of elitist Black people who have money, privilege, power, and influence, who basically are gatekeepers for any and everything you want to do If you're not one of them, this is a concept developed, and I talk about W.E.B. Du Bois, and I talk about, them not wanting black intellectuals to ever connect with Marcus Garvey. So, but this is what they would define as the talented 10th. They consider themselves like 10% of the black population who will decide the agenda for the rest of the population. Control your Negroes. So this is what Black history showed me. And it's like, okay, how do you get at least some unity amongst some of these people to make the agenda become more singular? Right? Right? That's what I got from Black history. That's why I say that's why I asked y'all, because I want to know what people got from it. Now, some people in the chat room are chiming in because it sounds like a crazy thing, but this is a website that I've been to. You can go to this website. It tells you everything about them. But like Sean said, how you join? You don't join.
Don't join. You have to be initiated.
You have to be brought in, right?
Yep.
Sound like my neighborhood a little bit, where somebody had to endorse you.
You know it.
Say, hey man, hey man, who is dude? Nah, man, he good. You show, nigga, you the one brought him right, man. He good, bro. He good. You just got endorsed, right? You just got endorsed. So let me see. Let me go up and catch my chat room. This is very interesting to me. These I'm starting to talk about agendas. And so Jesse Paris is saying facts. Antonia Anderson, what it do, my sister? What it do? What it do? What it do? With the Hip Hop 365 Museum. Check out the show with Antonia and DJ Toxic T, our 50th anniversary hip hop show that we did a couple weeks ago. It's dope show. I had a great time. MC Tone said he will be back on the show, and it's an honor. No doubt, man. It's always a pleasure when players meet, right? He said,
Yeah,
Kamar.
he came Outlaw Radio with dope shout out there too the other night.
Oh, did he? Because he said you came. He said you came to his show riding a horse and carriage.
Yeah. Well, hey, he still gave Outlaw Radio a dope shout out.
I'm like, Kamar, you showed up in a horse and carriage to the party?
Hey, well, hey, with coming from MC Tone, I mean, that's something dope. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Pulling up in the horse and carriage to the show. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get the perspective.
So he shouted us out. I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna tell y'all, I seen an old throwback video, man. I was really Saturday. I had an attitude for a minute. I seen an old throwback video, and I look, and it's Kamar. And shout out to Just Patrice, because Kamar was on Just Patrice show. It was a throwback show from 2018, right? I didn't know that. So I'm looking like, oh, he didn't tell me he out here, and I'm like, he ain't shot the show out or nothing. I had to look back and say, man, it's 2018, man. I was man.
That was my first time getting interviewed on a podcast and shit.
Okay. I was so finna call you like, oh, you doing shows now? You got gigs? Like, hey, let me call this dude. Shay said an agenda is a list of meeting activities in order which they are to be taken up, beginning with the call to order and ending with the adjournment. All right, let the church say amen.
Amen.
He said it usually includes one or more specific items of business to be acted upon. It may, but is not required to include specific times for one or more activities. That comes from Wikipedia itself. Donate them $5, y'all. Dion says Black history is not for us, it's for white people. They need to understand the contribution Black people have made to this country so that we can be looked at as humans. It's an interesting take on it, Dion.
I could dig that too.
I can see where he's coming from.
I could dig that too. I just feel like, you know what I mean, it's just so much for us to relearn too. You know what I mean, that we don't forgot. So, you know what I mean, that's the part that we do have to learn. But he's right. You know what I mean? Everybody else do need to know more about us so they can understand us better.
Okay.
And I ain't just talking about white people. I'm speaking of all races. Because it's been a cloud put over us with the media. You know what I'm saying? A dark cloud put over us with the media. So that's something I feel like about all races.
Want to talk about that too. NAACP Image Awards just happened. the images of us. I keep saying, what does the NAACP actually do now? I don't know, especially here in Milwaukee. Hello.
Get money.
I mean, but okay. I mean, once again,
They get money.
but hold on. This is where that connection comes, Kamar. Because maybe the people that they fuck with are the black boule. And since we are not considered in their circle, we don't get invited to their events. Our kids don't get the option to sign up for their scholarship. Because we ain't in, you know what I'm saying? We ain't in there.
And that's
So
very
maybe that represents a different agenda that's more linked to, like I said, I see. That's why I always looked at Barack Obama and his wife as, I looked at them as black elitists, like that level of black society where they pretty much refer to us as those people too. He said Sigma Pi Phi fraternity, the Boule, a brief overview. Okay. Antonio said we have no agenda. That's the problem with Antonio. We don't have any agenda.
Yeah, that is the problem too. We need one.
MC Tone said he got a show to do. See you players later. Stay black. My brother, catch you on the rebound.
Peace.
Don't be no jive turkey, right?
Jive turkey. Don't be no jive turkey. Jive turkey.
Keep on trucking. She said gatekeepers. That's a very important thing. We had this debate about running for office and whether or not you need money. Well, the only thing that helps you get through gatekeepers is money. When you are running and you standing on something righteous and you have a real progressive state of mind, I don't want us to be naive enough to think that they're not gatekeepers who are out here to stop you specifically. That's what COINTELPRO was.
Right.
And the only way you get past that is money.
Hey, remember the other night when we was talking about that, and I was saying when I was talking about our lane being the independent lane, right? And I also said we need to figure out how to fund our independent people that's running.
That's right. And people who do it on a high level figure that out, Kamar. They get people to support them. We just hear. See, the thing is, here we can say independent, but it ain't like the black Republicans or the black Democrats here vote heavy. They ass don't vote either. It'd be like 15 people that done voted. Like, you got 2 votes, you got 3. Okay, maybe I'm making a joke, but it's in a city of so many black people that's 40% black. Our voter turnout, if it's 9 to 11%, I think we'd be doing good. That's sad. She said, congratulations, Kamar, Antonia. Dion said we have to understand that white people tolerate us. They allow us to make these advancements that we call the first this and the first that. Damn, they tolerate us. That's a cold game. Are we tolerated? Because when I look at white people and how they treat us, I don't feel like they are tolerating us. It's just like, well, we're gonna put up for them for now.
Can I share something, man?
Absolutely.
Because I speak about this in what I'm writing, right? How we always look at losing, beating, right? We trying to beat them or beat the system, right? It ain't about beating them. It's about not being beat. I mean, once we understand that this system that we face daily is designed, right, and it's not designed for us, right? Like the young lady said, and develop some type of agenda, institute some structure. I lived through this where Black Milwaukee had its own structure, and we weren't competing and trying to win. We knew what we had, and we were satisfied with that, right? We weren't attempting to beat them, but we also didn't allow them to come into our community and beat or take from us. And we have to return to that, man. Then we'll stop all this, talking about what they are and what they control, and let them control what they control. They don't have to control us.
Right.
That's a lot to unpack.
No, it's not.
It is. It is because I just heard you say some words that are almost cliche at this point because of the way they're utilized. I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you why. I'm gonna explain.
Okay.
That's not to say you was wrong. First of all, let me say that. I got Mama Jenkins in the chat room. Shout out to Mama Jenkins. How you doing, my sister? She said, "Good evening, my outlaw family. Another day
Peace.
above ground, and this city still got no goddamn solution to stop the violence. They ain't shit." She said, "So what do they solve in the community?" So she said, "That's why I never wanted to join any groups. I just wanted to be me, no clicks." That's right, Mama Jenkins.
Gangster.
She ain't never lied. She ain't never lied.
Gangster.
Truth is there. They say no lies detected. Jesse Parrish, he said, Ambulance chasers do what the boule say or allow. I want people to, once again, I want people to understand what's really happening right now with these gatekeepers, with this black boule, with these black people, because you got black conservative Republicans who are real gatekeepers on a lot of different levels that we perhaps don't even notice, right? Some black people who may be high up in certain organizations, corporate organizations, that actually can do some hiring and firing, and they make no effort to create a situation that we could take advantage of. Gatekeepers. Dre
Is
Day in
that
the building. What up, homie? He said outlaws, man. Dre Day, what's going on, man? Dre Day is rocking with us
Peace.
forever, man. Jesse Parrish said the PACs, political action committees. Well, what's the political action committee here in Milwaukee for people of color?
there isn't one?
There is. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Thank you. Your timing is getting better. Your timing is getting better.
I'm trying.
Jesse says symbolisms versus tangibles. Yes, symbols, images. What I saw. How you doing, my sister Sharon Evans? She said, "What's going on, Outlaw Radio?" Man, got a chance to drop her Outlaw stuff off
Peace.
this weekend.
For real.
Dion said, "White people discovered Barack Obama and put him in office, not us." Oh no, we voted in record numbers, Dion. I voted for him twice.
So hold on. Barack Obama was a community organizer in Chicago before he was ever a politician.
Exactly.
He was not discovered by white people. He was in the black neighborhood, in the neighborhoods of color working. So yeah, that's not totally true. That's a fact check. Fact check. Fact check.
Okay, and so I'm with you on that. I like where you're going with that. And I would say, yeah, they didn't discover him, but they put him on.
They embraced him
Once
and
he
lifted him. Yeah.
once he became Boule, they put him on. I'd lay some money down and say he has to be a member of that fraternity. I'm guaranteeing you. Sharon Evans said we don't compete with them. We don't need to.
Hey, could the black boule be what they would call the Illuminati? Who motherfuckers be talking about the Illuminati? Could
You
that
know
be the
what?
black boule?
You know what, Kamar?
Because
If
I feel
there is
like
such
black
thing,
people can't be. Because I feel like black people can't be the Illuminati. Because the Illuminati is supposed to be some elite white people. Why would they put us in that group?
well, I
So the
think
black boule will probably be the next level below that, right?
I would
Well,
think that
well,
if you talk about Illuminati, you're talking about an organization that has many different branches. So that it's like any corporation. The CEOs are on the penthouse floor. You have
Right.
presidents, you have managers, you have CO, you have chief financial officers, CFOs. You have different the elite sit up top, and then the higher you get in the building. So I don't think that Illuminati would be just one thing. I think it would involve controlling a multitude of things, and the piece that they would use to manipulate black America would be the black boule.
That's what
So
I'm
the
saying.
top of
Yeah,
the top of the black
that's
boule
what I'm
are
saying.
connected.
Yeah,
So
so
that's what
maybe
I'm
so
saying right
so
there.
let me
okay.
throw this out then. What if the Illuminati was multi-ethical, right? And you had these individuals, Italian, Germans, French, black, white, right? Uh, and they led their own their own organizations. The black with the Boule, whites with the Illuminati. We don't know what goes on in other countries. We only know about the information that is given to us, fed to us. So
Okay.
I just want to throw that out there.
No doubt. No doubt. It's Outlaw Radio. You are free to do so. As a matter of fact, if you want to call in and be a part of the conversation, the number scrolling slowly across the bottom of the screen is 262-202-5131. The Cash App is there too. I'll let your boy for the apparel. Or if you just want to donate out of love. We love the kind of money that jingle, but we appreciate the kind that fold. Sharon Evans said they want to be like us, right? Antonio Anderson said we need to get our shit together. Stop being sellouts. Dion said if they didn't allow us to just exist, we can't control. We call control. We can't control anything. White supremacy has a strong hold on the world. Let me see. Jesse Parrish, he said black people in high places don't benefit black people collectively. Check this out, y'all. I love what Sean just said. That what if it was multicultural, multi-ethnic, the Illuminati? I'm gonna tell you why I don't believe it is. Because if you understand history and you understand what happened to the United States of America during the Great Depression, if you really understand what happened to this country, it will make you think about this differently when we talk about Illuminati. This country failed financially, totally corrupt, broke, bankrupt, mass poverty, mass unemployment. It basically became a fourth world country. What happened? These rich uber millionaires, Chase, Ford, Rockefeller, all of these
Vanderbilt.
white men basically bought this country out of bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
They basically got together, and you cannot tell me there was no meeting with the president, with whatever political bodies existed that said, listen, man, if y'all get us out this shit, say this country, you all will be rich for your family will never be broke in this country. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you this. Now, if you look at what a lot of them did, what did they do? They built black colleges. They built little Negro schools throughout the South. They said, here, take this money. This will be Tuskegee. This will be whatever, black college. We're gonna let them go to school. That creates that black boule because that's where it comes from. The first group of college educated black people back then who got degrees and were looked upon as even semi-intellectual, which that's subjective at best. But that first group of black people that they said, okay, now we made you niggers, we fixed y'all, but y'all gotta control y'all niggers. So those gatekeepers were put into place. But all that was established by those white men. I don't believe they brought anybody else in. I believe they sat down and divided it up amongst themselves and said, this is something that will stay within our circle for the rest of the time this country's on this earth. And that's why I say I don't think it would be multi-ethnic. I think, yeah, they would have somebody who deals with global situations because it's a global economy. They would have somebody who knows about different hotspots where economic development and money opportunities are. So they're aware of the world. I just think it's some white men, some American white men who control this. And I work with different organizations, but it's just my take on Illuminati. But I can see the black boule right in my face. Just to go to that website, I challenge any of you to go to the website. It is an eye opener. And it's not like they're hiding. They're saying, no, this is some real high crust black people shit. And I'm like, oh, if the average member of your fraternity has $2 million at least, his or her median income, now you get about 20, 30 people together who got that much money. Right?
So let me ask this. Let me ask the other chat room, right? Is it a bad thing because everybody doesn't have the opportunity to enjoy the lifestyle that they have or have acquired the lifestyle that they have? Because I'm sure that those involved in the boule, they don't see anything wrong.
Of course not. Yeah, of course not.
So what makes it wrong?
I think anytime you as a black person. Now, here's the problem, Sean. I love the way you framed it and said, is it bad because certain people don't get to enjoy a certain lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's bad in its essence, but I think that anytime it's disproportionate, how many of us don't get to enjoy it versus how many of them do.
Okay.
And they put in way less effort. A lot of times, because of generational poverty, because of their privilege, they are insulated and born into wealth. They ain't born into money, they're born into wealth.
So we're but isn't that the goal to have generational wealth so that you aren't put in the position of those who don't, right? So that you can live a lifestyle that for them is free of the average shit that everybody else goes through.
Well, first of all, that money and wealth don't insulate you from bullshit because they be more screwed up than anybody.
Well, we know that.
Them motherfuckers be crazy as ape shit. But hold on. Once again, if I'm gonna take the reason why I have generational wealth is because I've been legally able to take your rights, because I've been legally able to exploit you. So that's why I have it. It's not like we started off the same and you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps and I did.
I have to interject though, because, and I forget the young lady's name, but she was one of the first black millionaires, and white society had they wanted to change her birth certificate to say that she was white because she was so rich and powerful, right? She earned that though. Her family was given that by the land that they was given was supposed to be worthless, and it was actually fertile land full of oil, right? So she was one of the first black millionaires, multimillionaire, and that was generational wealth for them.
Yeah, but you just answered your own question.
No, I'm asking of you.
You said that they came. You said that they came and said she had to file as white.
No. I didn't say that they. I didn't say that they said she had to. I said they tried to get her. They tried to make her, right? And she refused.
The fact that they are able to do that proves my point, that they have earned theirs by fucking other people over. And in some cases,
I didn't say that she agreed.
I get what you're saying. The intent is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
The fact that they even came at her like that shows you who's in power. Go ahead, Kamar.
I think I don't know, I could be wrong with this part too. Y'all let me know. I think in the beginning, Sean, what you were saying was like you had asked, is it wrong for somebody to be in a position to where they could live a life like they want to live?
Right.
I don't feel like that's wrong. You know what I mean? I think we all should try to position ourselves to live the best life we can. You know what I mean? And our people. Like that's just how it is, man. That's the way of nature. You know what I mean? We ain't here to suffer. We ain't here to do bad. We here to prosper. You know what I mean? Right. But we just have to figure out how to prosper while we here. You know what I mean? And that's really on us about acquiring information, acquiring knowledge. I just posted today. I said, you know what I mean? No matter how bad of a position you always been, this ain't the exact words. I can't remember right quick, but I said, you know, no matter how bad of a position you in, somewhere down the line is your fault. You know what I mean? You made a bad decision somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you ain't doing as good in life as you want to, is somewhere down the line you made bad decisions. You know what I mean? And we gotta own up to we gotta be accountable for our own shit.
I don't totally agree, Kamar.
That's because cool.
I look at circumstances in contrast to situations. Now, if you can control your situation, then yeah, that's on you. But let's look at the children that have placed that have been placed and surrounded by circumstances that they have no control of, right? They're raised under these circumstances, under these atrocious and harmful this lifestyle, right? And this is input daily. Their desire, if they had a desire to escape that, that desire has been removed and replaced by the circumstances that
I think
continue to
that's a crutch.
control them.
I think that's a crutch.
Right,
Jesse, you're right.
It's not a crutch.
okay.
It's not a
So
crutch
you
because
can.
we're talking about trauma right now, right?
Here
Some
we go.
trauma, man, is so intense and so acute, right? And people are suffering from it. They don't even know that they're suffering from it. And a lot of this trauma that people can't escape, it's the circumstances that have become so compounded.
Let me you're right, Jesse. We know
I
Osama
feel
Bin
like we
Laden,
live in a time though. Like we
not an
live in a
FBA.
time now, you know what I mean, where this is like the age of information. You know what I mean? And okay, we could start off in a horrible position.
Mm-hmm.
That part is not our fault. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But to remain in a horrible position, like I say, you know what I mean? Information is everywhere. You know what I mean? You can learn, you could go to school to figure out how to do better. You know what I mean? It's just too many different things we can do. And you know what I mean? In the way social media is, and the way everybody always talking about mental health, and you know what I mean, and the traumas and everything, like all this stuff is really available for a lot more people now. And we raising awareness on it. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I say we can be born in a bad spot, in a bad position. But at the same time, you know what I mean? It's still on us to get ourselves up. If I'm suffering from a trauma, it's on me to heal from that. Ain't nobody else. It's on me to heal from that.
Erica Ville said it's supposed to, you're right. We were talking about the Boule. It's supposed to be a secret society. She said Illuminate is the enlightened, the Illuminati is the enlightened ones. She said they hold sacred knowledge. She said they worship God, not the same one as most. Okay. Mama Jenkins, she said, yes, he was an organizer in the heart of Chicago, in reference to Obama. Milwaukee does not have a group of nothing because of the deep fear that they face. Tiarsha Arthur, she says, Sean, exactly, Sean, Obama actually did a lot for the Chicago people when he was a senator. When he became president, he helped Milwaukee with Master Lock. They brought a lot of jobs back from overseas. That's not entirely true. They actually outsourced. After he showed up and spoke, which everybody was so happy about, they removed a lot of jobs from the plant down in the central city. So, yeah. They had brought jobs back before that, but after he spoke, they outsourced again. Dion says, whites tolerate us. You better look back in history. People always talk about Black Wall Street, Greens, and Greensboro, North Carolina. Let me see what I got here. Dion, he said, when white people get scared or feel like they're being overlooked, they tear shit up and burn down whatever we have built. So
they tolerate and control us.
It's crazy. It's crazy. That is the actual thing of it. Is like, is this a phantom? Something we made up? Is this an urban legend? Is
I
like
feel like
Tiarsha
that's a
said,
mindset we need to try to get out of if that's where we at.
Yeah,
she said, is
because
the
I don't feel
Illuminati
like that.
actually even real? Is
That's
it
what I
real?
think.
John Fletcher, shout out to John Fletcher. He said, very deep conversation, but I agree with Kamar. It is still on you. They said you are correct. Sean, you are referring to Madam C.J. Walker.
No, I'm not.
Okay. That's what Tiarsha Arthur said.
No,
Kamar, we are in the age of information.
Different young lady. She was
yeah. Well, CJ Walker was hair products. You said oil and land. I kind of figured
her dad, either her dad or her mom was I'm trying to think of the tribe of Indian, but she was given land in Oklahoma, I believe.
So you said, do they control us? Do they? I mean, listen, there is some haves and some have-nots. We understand that, and haves have privilege.
Definitely.
It comes with having wealth. It comes with having money. Once again, my issue is not with somebody who acquires it. My issue is with a group of people who build their wealth on fucking over other people. If you get out here and hustle and earn it, that's fine. But if you keep your boot in somebody's ass and people say, well, that's how big businesses play. That's how big getting big bread is. But we talking about America. We're talking about the United States of America, in which the wealth distribution and even here in Milwaukee, where the median income is 29.5 and the white median income is $60,000 a year. Come on, man. Now, to go to what Sean said about, see, that's when I said I disagreed earlier because of certain words, structure. We gotta put structure in. We gotta come with an agenda. There will never be a unilateral agenda, but you also extended the conversation to trauma, which for me at this point is becoming, and I know how you mean it, Sean. I want you to understand. I know when you say trauma, I know what you mean.
Okay.
Right. But there are some people out here who are using that shit as an excuse. And you said what you said about situations and circumstances. I think circumstances dictate situations, right? And the one thing you can control a lot of times is the circumstances. Because you get what you're dealt. If you truly deal with them, you handle them. If you got these circumstances and you let it get the best of you, you didn't handle it.
Circumstances are uncontrollable. Situations are circumstances that are controllable. They are no longer.
You don't think circumstances are? If I move,
listen, man, don't argue with me. Argue with
if I move a certain way and make decisions based on a certain thing, it creates certain circumstances. So if I'm living this certain like lifestyle,
if you created it though, that means you had some control over it though.
No, listen, if I'm living a certain lifestyle, I create circumstances because I'm running and I'm living a certain way. So I'm putting myself, I created those circumstances and they put me in certain situations. How did I end up in a shootout with some cats and some people got shot? Well, it didn't just happen randomly. It's like Kamar said, some decisions was made, some things were put into place, and you have control over it.
No,
the fact that we keep saying, the fact that we keep saying, because I'm born in a neighborhood where it's poverty and it's bad, I gotta choose being a fuck up. You don't choose to say I'm gonna fight my way out of this shit.
When you're in a shootout, you do not have control of that situation. We cannot equate shootouts to a shootout involves more than one party.
Wait.
A lot of the time you have control over getting into that situation.
That's what I'm saying.
I said once he's in the shootout. I didn't say before the shootout. I said in the shootout. You no longer have control of that situation. Now you are involved in a circumstance because you don't know the outcome. You can't even the outcome is death, going to jail, getting shot. You don't know.
A shootout ain't random. I'm talking about where I got a gun, you got a gun, and we shooting at each other. I ain't even talking about getting victimized. I'm saying I got beef with some cats over here. We into it. We end up shooting at each other.
So usually the
way I'm living my life got me into that situation.
So tell me that, can you control where his bullet goes?
You can control how you live in your life to not put yourself in that situation. You doing something wrong if that's your norm. Tiarsha says Sarah Richter Campbell is who you talking about, Sean.
I think that's her.
Okay.
Damn.
She said you're talking about Empress Turner L of the Washita Nation.
Yeah.
Sharon Evans said, right, they use trauma to traumatize. Mama Jenkins said, Kamar, I have a degree. She said, karma. I think she tried. Oh, Kamar. I have to agree. I'm sorry. My dad always said we are our worst enemy because of our actions, but we know as we grow older, we are able to create our own paths in life. Shout out to Ruben Anderson. He said, correct. The minds work pretty much like a computer. It's what you put in, not what you get out of it. Shout out to Vince Tony. Vince Tony in the chat room. He said, what's up, Outlaw Radio? Let's not take slavery out the equation. Everything they became is an extension of white organizations. The Black Boule, including churches, fraternities, and sororities. Black gatekeepers. He said, correct. No, I already read that. I'm sorry. So listen. And I said to myself, I referenced the NAACP. I talked about us not being on the same page. I talked about us having different agendas. And I don't want people to think, well, we all can't do the same thing. Because I hear somebody saying that, yeah, we got different agendas. We do different things. A lot of us do the same shit and we got different agendas. We talking about stopping violence. You got some brothers who will say, well, this is what we need to do. And they have a certain level of understanding. You got another organization say, nah, we don't agree with that shit. We ain't gonna do it like that. Those organizations end up working against each other, not together. Instead of them saying, okay, let's create a situation where we do agree at. So here's the match point. If I get a kid that could benefit better from your program, I give him to you or help introduce him to you and vice versa. I'm saying I'm looking at the NAACP and I kept saying, what do they actually do? If you out there now, Kamar, you remember a couple years ago we had Brother Fred Gordon on the show, who at the time was the president of the NAACP here in Milwaukee. It was a great show. It was a great conversation because even he couldn't really say what they do. And he even admitted that what they actually do in terms of grassroots organizing is minimal at this point.
Very.
You know what I'm saying? I could say a bunch of organizations' names here that I say, well, what do they actually do? And I'm not going to do that. I said the NAACP because they had an award show. But I'd like to know, like, what is the agendas here in the city? Because if we can get all of them together, then maybe we could try to get something centralized. Because I know that there's the nation here. They have their agenda.
Everybody's agenda surrounds self.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot was going on with the NAACP awards. I see that Dwayne Wade's wife, Gabrielle Union, came out and gave a very strong pro-LGBT speech. And the news is Dwayne Wade now, his son, Zaya, has been granted the right to have his gender officially changed and his name changed. And
yeah,
I looked, and then they honored the cat from P Valley. They stated that the entertainer of the year would be all the people who were in the running is 5 women. And so I said, is it time for them to take the title of homophobic off Black America? Because remember, people used to say Black America is homophobic, right? Like they say, man, it's taboo to be gay in the Black community. I'm saying now it seems like Black America has fully embraced the gayness. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying right now I feel like Black America is at its most pro-gay that it's ever been. Like, it's so prominent and prevalent in our everyday society. The brat having a baby with her wife. She got her belly all out. She 50 years old, right? Niecy Nash done wrote a book about how to keep a man. She got her a whole woman. Every show you watch has a gay storyline to it. I watched the show Harlem because I got my shows, y'all. It's springtime. All my shows is on. Snowfall, Yellowstone, 1923, the mayor of Kingstown, the Godfather of Harlem. But I watched the Black show, so I'm watching these shows where Black women it's about 4 Black women who are friends and they're navigating relationships in life. There's at least 2 of them that's gay all the time, or there's a bunch of gay men around them. The men are always presented as buffoons or men just don't get it. They don't really know how to deal with us. They need to be handled. They have insecurities. And I'm like, damn, they shit on us a lot. So I'm like, what y'all think? We got Lil Nas X now. People say it's cool. It's cool. Lil Boosie daughter done came out, said she gay. Boosie said, damn, I still don't agree with it. But I mean, everybody's gay. So what y'all think about this? Black gay America. What you think about that, Kamar?
I think we need to keep educating what we believe in. Keep pushing what we all believe in, whatever that is. Just push what you believe in. Fuck what everybody else thinking. You know what I mean? We ain't got to disrespect each other about it. But I do feel like we shouldn't be putting sexuality into our kids' head so early like that, like they doing. You know what I'm saying? Like our kids at 6 years old, they shouldn't have to figure out, you know what I mean, if they like boys or girls. That shit shouldn't be on their mind. They should be worried about coloring and shit.
So if your son comes to you as a 6-year-old and says, Dad, I like boys, I would say the same thing that if my son came to me when he was 6 and he says, "Dad, I like girls," I would say, "Boy, you don't know nothing about that yet. What you talking about? Why is you even thinking on that level? What have you seen? What have you seen laying around the house that got your mind on something like that?" Right? So once again, I'm not anti-gay. I'm not. I'm really not. I just look at where, because we're talking about agendas, right? And we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about where the influence actually comes from in terms of where we are as a country. So I'm saying we have embraced now, but I feel like this country uses homosexuality, in particular in the black community, to further emasculate the black man.
Yeah.
I feel like they use it to lessen our value and create a narrative that you really just don't need a brother, right? I don't know. Does that, y'all tell me, does that sound homophobic? I hope that don't come off as homophobic.
Nope. And
Okay.
see, but you know that's how they do. They paint a picture of a motherfucker that disagree. It make you look bad. And that's what the word homophobic is. It ain't never been such a thing ever in the word history of gaydom. Homophobic. I ain't never heard that shit when we was kids. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, Kumar. Hold on, Kumar.
In the
I got to
history
make
of gaydom.
you said in the history of.
Of gaydom, yeah, in the history of gaydom.
I just
You
had
know
to
what
make
I'm
sure I heard
saying?
that.
You know what I mean? Like for real, until these times, you know what I mean, in the past, say maybe 10 years, you know what I mean? Nobody's ever been called that. So they created a word to make you look bad for not agreeing with that agenda.
And I have to add to that. It's not just, you know, that word. I was called homophobic, right? Openly by a sister. And it irks me to this day. I have 6 sons, and one of them is gay. I don't love him no less. Shit. Once I found out, I try to love on him even harder.
Pause.
Whatever. Was it forbidden in my house? Me and my wife, we expressed our desire for our sons to have black families. That was our desire. You know what I mean? And we tried to raise them as spiritually and as we could, and with morals and all that shit. You know what I mean? My son is still gay.
Right.
It is what it is. I mean, that's just it, man.
Mm-hmm.
The world is changing before our eyes, and everybody's not gonna agree. Everybody's not gonna disagree. I control what I can, and that's just what it is.
You're right. And you're right, Sharon Evans as well. She said she dressed like a man, got her belly out. Erica Veal said it's part of the depopulation agenda. Homosexuality is. Sharina Lynette says can't say fag no more or punk. In the
You
80s,
just said it.
we said that all the time as kids playing around. I hate to hear it in these times. People lovers of themselves and not her. She said, how are we to procreate with the same sex? Erica Veal says America is the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. Oh, no morals, no morals. Sharon Evans said we're in a laboratory.
Let me ask a
Vincent
question.
Tony. Vincent Tony said part of the problem is children are being molested. That goes unaddressed and untreated in black communities. Erica Veal said they want the black man to become extinct. Sharon Evans said Kamar, Gatum, or Fairyland. In the history of Fairyland. Brother Chase said you right. That word didn't come out until Osamba. He called him Osamba. He said the word didn't
Oh,
come out until
Sambo.
Osamba was in it. Osambo was in the office. Dr. Francis Cress Weldon spoke on the agenda they are pushing back in the 70s. Okay. Ruben Anderson, he says, in response to your inquiry on the NAACP, I was recently seated as the redress committee chairman from the Wisconsin State Conference. Looking down at the local branches, I see no agendas, just individuals occupying space. but everybody has their lanes. I say you will know a tree by its fruit. I see that shifting. Everything takes time. I can say this: my agenda involves moving people within the criminal justice system around. Yeah, and that's that's fine. That's cool. But so them as an organization that has historical relevance, understanding that at one point this organization, even though it's established by white people, even though the Niagara Convention and from my understanding, this was really just something that was put together to steer a lot of us away from Marcus Garvey. I will say that again. Mama Jenkins said, "Look at that, look that people choices." That's people choices, but I want my boys to go screw them a woman and make them some babies. Now, listen,
I do too. Shit.
if you got a child and that child says I'm gay, yeah, I'm agree with you, Sean. I'd let him or her know. Look, you're always gonna be my baby, but let me tell you, Daddy just ain't with that shit. I'm sorry. Like
He know I ain't with that shit,
right,
but I
right,
mean,
right.
you know,
I mean,
shit.
no, I'm just saying what
I
I
don't
would
treat
do.
him no differently.
Right. Well, you can't. I mean, but I would have
Right.
some ground rules. I would have some ground rules like Thanksgiving Day, bro. Don't show up with your man and all that kind of shit. And like you can't spend the
We
night
ain't
with
doing
your
all that.
husband at the crib, and you and him can't be over here up in the living room watching TV. And first of all, let me say this too. If I in
They
this
can't be in the
Dwayne
living
Wade
room
case,
watching TV.
right? I mean, nah, man, like not really like that, bro. Right? Like
Who said that y'all can't be over here watching in the living room watching TV?
Well, I'm just up in there watching Love Jones and shit, cuddled up on the couch. Once again, not because this is the one thing about heterosexual males with homosexual males. You look at it as a heterosexual male and you say, I don't like that. Not I don't like that person. Like I'm not attracted to other men. I don't like to see two men kissing and being affectionate with each other on that level. I prefer not to see that. Once again, I don't hate the person. I don't say somebody should burn their ass up for doing that. I say, well, I'm just going to go somewhere where that's not happening. Okay. And because of that, because of a straight man saying, nah, when they say, ooh, ain't he fine? Well, nah, ain't really my thing. Oh, you homophobic. That's the problem with it. Right. Like since I'm not gay, then I automatically must be homophobic. And that's not true. If I say, man,
and that's what I'm saying, man. Homophobic really ain't even a fucking word, man. That's some shit they just made up to demonize a motherfucker that don't agree with that agenda.
They made it up in the world of gaydom.
Yep, in the world of gaydom. Right.
There you go.
Sharon Evans said, don't come over here in no thigh-high pink go-go boots. Nah, son, you can't come to the cookout dressed like that, B. Nah. And see, that's what I'm saying. My son, if and I don't, he's not gay as far as I know, and I don't expect that to be an issue. But if he did say, Dad, that this is what I'm on, I said, well, listen, let's set some ground rules for this. Because I know you to be a young man since you were born. You were born a male, so you got to respect my shit too. So you can't expect me to just really accept this and run with this. So that's what I'm saying. If I'm Dwayne Wade and I see this at 6 years old, I'm going to tell my son, well, hold on, man, before we go to changing your name and letting you I'm not putting a whole lot of energy into that. If that's your path, that's what you'll inherit. But it's not going to be me encouraging you. Like, you want a new purse? Or, oh, man, let me get you some. Dad, can you buy me these heels? Yeah, I got you. Put them in the cart. Nah, I'm going to be like, nah, man, you got to do that with your mama, bro. I can't do that with you. So that would be my only issue. And if that kid got to be old enough where they start to understand what all this stuff was about, and he said, Dad, I'm still gay. I said, well, you know what, son? I believe you because you've been on this since you was 6. I just kept you straight until you was 18. Right? Now you do what you want to do.
How you keep them straight, dog?
I mean, I kept him straight in my house. Like, nah, man, we don't. Because listen, as much as I would love my gay son, I'm not gonna be at the rally. I'm going to the rally with you today. You know what I'm saying? Let me shut up, man, because I don't want to offend no gay people, man. Really, I don't.
I really think that I'm
having a ball tonight, man.
We're beyond offending gay people. We have already passed that threshold.
Well, I hope not.
Well, let's say this, man. We ain't trying to offend nobody. We come from an era. We come from an era where, you know what I mean. There's a whole lot of shit you could say that you can't say no more. Exactly.
It wasn't acceptable then.
I feel like if you offended, something wrong with you. Like I really feel like if a gay person listening to what I'm saying and is offended, I'd be like, dude, what's something wrong with you? You don't understand that I'm not. I'm saying I'm not into that. I don't want to be around that. It's like if I'm listening to a certain kind of music or I'm eating a certain kind of food and somebody be like, ugh, man, I don't like that shit. I'd be like, all right, well, I thought you finna go, right? Because I know you ain't gonna, I would expect them to leave. I wouldn't say, no, you're gonna stay here and watch me do this. No, motherfucker, go ahead. Like, right? So, and it's a deep conversation. Um, um, like you could like I could live next door to a gay man. And we know there was gay people throughout our neighborhoods, right? Like I remember there was a gay white dude who had a public access show who lived on 16th by the school back in the days in the hood. Everybody knew he was gay. Nobody spray painted on his house. Nobody, was breaking his windows out or jumping him. He was part of the neighborhood. But now you did. My daddy gave us a warning, like, hey man, but he was old school. Don't you be up in that house with that. I'm not gonna repeat what he said because it's really not politically correct. But I'm just saying there was no like he got to move out. So I don't want the LGBTQPR LMOPs to come after me. Let's she said to be honest, to each his own. Sharon Evans said we all got to answer for our actions in the end. We do. It's your axe to grind. So Mama Jenkins, Tiarsha said, don't get the Outlaws canceled. You know what? It would be sad if somebody attempted, like if a gay person would, first of all, why are you listening to the show? Right? Why are you listening to the show? Right? Like I'm saying, because it represents heterosexual males. That's what this show represents.
But there's no disclaimer that states that. No, there's no disclaimer that states this show is catered to heterosexual males.
It says hashtag FBA, Foundational Black American, on the hashtag that they make me put up.
Is that spelled out? Do you have a disclaimer? If you don't have
I don't
no
have
disclaimer,
to. I don't have to.
Then they can be in your show,
because
man.
You know what? No,
you
I'm
can't
saying
tell people they can't be in your show.
They could listen, but if you get offended, I'm saying, why would you listen to this if it offends you? You should just listen to something else.
We didn't announce that we were having a conversation about Gatum.
And they don't come out and they don't give you a disclaimer and say, warning, they're about to be man kissing in this movie.
You caught that?
No, they don't have to.
You caught that?
Yeah, I caught that.
If I'm watching the show, right? So if I'm watching a certain show and I know that this is a gay show, because there's a such thing as gay shows, with gay characters.
If you watching a gay show, KB, that means yeah.
But I can't. If I'm watching it, I can't get offended and say, "Oh, this pisses me off." Once I realize it's a gay show, I should just turn. I shouldn't cause no problem for them. I should just say, "Oh, I ain't watching this," and turn. It shouldn't be no issue.
Yeah, you can turn. You can't watch the entire show and then when the credits come on, get mad though that you watched the show.
Right. You should have turned as soon as you recognize it. Like, oh hell no, I'm out of here. I do it all the time. Like, and it's not just gay shows. I'm saying shows I'm watching and this ain't me. No. Your pause was not like no. You said love on him hard. Your pause was more official. I didn't need no pause right there. Mama Jenkins said, "I'm like you, KB. Do what you do at your house, not my house. I gotta have ground rules in my house. I got nothing against homosexuality because it's practiced in most churches today." Ooh, she hit him upside the head.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no, my son didn't come out until he was grown.
Okay.
Yes. Let me clear that up.
Right. And you know what? I'm sure if he was, that could be
because he knew that it went against our wishes. Okay. we knew that he was, but he never openly flaunted that he was, and we left it at that.
So, yeah. Right.
Dion said he's homophobic. He said he's homophobic because he don't want a homosexual man to represent him as a straight black man. So yes, I have a phobia that a gay male will represent me. Wow. Okay.
I can dig that.
How?
Right.
How?
But I don't understand how another man represent me.
Right.
That's not gonna gay, straight, bi, trans,
Fuck
you
them.
can't represent Sean Mo. Only Sean Mo can represent Sean Mo.
Fuck them.
Ruben Anderson said, "I don't get how they normalize homosexuality." And it's a new thing. And I love Sean said this earlier, and I heard him say it, and I was like, that's right. He said, the world is changing right before your eyes.
Yeah.
We are seeing things now that we didn't see growing up. We can throw tradition out the window, like, because that's been over. Just the fact that this pandemic we just seen, we hadn't seen anything equivalent to that in our lifestyle, in our lifetime. The crack epidemic and what we had to go through with that leading up to this point, the recessions and 9/11. We in our lifetime hadn't seen these kinds of events, but we've seen them now. So this world has changed, and especially over the last 12 years, it's changed faster than it ever has, like just in terms of how people operate. But
Yes.
I think the mission is to normalize it, so it won't be taboo. So it'll be like, all right. So maybe the point of it all is
That's
to
what they
just get us to
trying
the
to
point
do.
where we say, "Well, that ain't shit." So it's two men kissing. It ain't no big deal. So what? They gay,
That's what they want. You know,
right? That's pretty much
that's
what they want,
originally that's that culture. You know what I'm
right?
saying? That's that culture, man. You look at a bunch of movies, man, back them Greek movies, them Roman movies and shit like that. They was always kissing on boys and shit, men kissing on boys and all that type of behavior going on. That ain't our culture, man. That's theirs. That's why this shit is being normalized like that.
Okay. And Sean said we don't have a disclaimer, but we actually do. And that disclaimer has always been the opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio are solely those of the motherfucker that said it. Know who to be mad at, right? That has always been our disclaimer, correct, Kamar?
Yeah.
Right. Know who to be mad at, right? So that's maybe we should start saying it at the beginning of the show again, Kamar, like
Yeah,
we
we
used
do
to
gotta
before.
start saying that again, man.
Before every show, we used to say that. Like we would give you the disclaimer to let you know people
Because
have
you've
the
been
right
on
to
the
their
road
opinion.
today, man. You've been on the road today, man. And we gotta let them know who to be mad at.
Well, I don't think I said anything that anybody should be. You said gate them. I'm like, yeah, know who said that shit.
You said they won't be able to come and sit on the couch and watch TV.
My son, I don't want my son sitting on my couch.
And he said they can't even watch the show. Do
I
not
didn't
turn
say they
on
could
my
watch the
show.
show. I didn't say they couldn't watch the
Y'all can't
show.
watch my fucking show if you
No,
gonna
that's not
comment
what I
on it.
said. I said I don't
If
understand
you're
why
gonna
you're
comment.
watching. I said I don't understand why you would watch it.
Same, like you said earlier, semantics. It's all the same, boss.
No, that's not the same for somebody to say, I'm offended by this show, so guess what? I'm gonna watch it every week. Why would
No,
you watch it if it's
I ain't saying
offensive
that.
to you? That don't make sense. I turn from shit all the time. I'm not gonna sit here and be offended. I'm so mad right now. When I got a whole remote control in my hand, all I got to do is change the damn channel, right?
Just sit there and watch
Right.
it.
Punishing myself. I'm gonna watch this and be mad. Like, come
Have you
on,
ever
man.
have you ever asked yourself why flies always land on shit and they go from shit to shit?
Because they've been hanging around black people, so they prefer shit.
So you just ask yourself, why would they watch your show, knowing that your show might be offensive to them, right? Just to start some shit.
Well, good luck.
Because they love shit.
Good luck, because if you go back and listen to anything I said on the show, is not offensive, not homophobic in any sense of the word. I have the right to tell my son you can't sit on the couch with your boyfriend and watch TV. I got the right to do that.
You do. Of course you do.
I got the right to say why you, as a homosexual male, why would you watch a show full of heterosexual males? I feel like you fishing. You're looking for something to get offended about.
And
it's like me. Well, I'm gonna sit and watch a whole football game and I hate violence. Now I'm so upset that these guys are being violent. Why you watch a 3-hour football game and you don't like violence? Mm-hmm. Right? It just don't make sense, man. You don't eat meat, but you up in Burger King. Like, unless you get in the super, what they call it, the ultimate Whopper. You feel me? Yeah. Like, I'm just saying, I don't eat pork. So, but you gonna go to a pig roast and say y'all ain't got no veggies? Like, why are you here?
Well, like you said, that's why the disclaimer states what it states. Know who the fuck you mad at.
Kamar said, I heard Kamar say this one time. Kamar said, I don't like cigarette smoke. So you know what? I don't go around people who smoke and tell them not to smoke. I just don't go around people who smoke.
Right.
I'm not offended because you smoking a cigarette. Now,
Right.
if they say, come on, why you leaving? Man, bro, I don't like to smoke. Oh, my bad, I put it out. All right, well, I don't want to put you out. No, I'm good, man. I didn't know you, sometimes you can get an understanding by saying, I'm going to go ahead and hit it, man. Now, if a gay person came on here and said, well, Kevin, I want to call in and express myself. Call in. I'd let you call in. I wouldn't say, well, we don't have gay callers on the show. Like, come on, man. Now, if he said, hey, Kev, let's hook up and go out Saturday night, I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to go.
What if he said, let's hook up and go out Saturday night to talk about next week's show?
No, you can call me. We don't got to hook up. Just call me. Just call me. That's not a hookup mandatory. Like we gotta go sit and have drinks. No, just call me, man. What you got? What's on your mind? Matter of fact, just text me. I'm trying. I don't know. Like I don't feel like you can make me like people. I won't allow. Like you said, nobody represents Sean Moore, but Sean Moore. Well, nobody defines Kevin Barnes except for Kevin Barnes. And if I really had a problem with it, I would say that. I don't have to beat around the bush or hide it. You feel me? Like I ain't making it up that I'm not homophobic, but when I get off the air, I'm like, man, I hate fags. No, because if I say the same thing when I'm off, I ain't got no problem with them, man. Let them do what they do. So if you listen to the show and you're offended, you was fishing. Basically, it's your fault, not mine. So now I'm offended that you trying to be offended by me. Now I'm offended. We all offended.
You said nah, I ain't gonna go there.
I know what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I know that. I do this shit. This is what I do. Sharon Evans said, I'm offended having the gay agenda forced on us all day, every day. Once again, it's one of those situations.
That's the part I don't like, that is forced like that, man. And they put this shit in our kids' face.
See, listen. They put it in our kids' face, right? We have to allow our kids to stay there, to stay in that place, to be subjected to this. We don't have to allow that, man.
This shit is in the kids' shows now.
You don't have to let them watch the shows that have that in it.
Like, man, hey, like you watch Sesame Street, that shit on Sesame Street, man. Like,
my grandbaby don't watch Sesame Street. She don't watch Dora. She don't watch SpongeBob. Man,
like, you know what I mean? So, like, it's like, how do you stop them? You know what I mean? It's you leave out the room and they watching the TV. I mean, it's gonna be on the show that whatever it is you let them watch. That's what I'm saying, man. They forcing it. It's in all these kids shows and shit.
So how do we stop that? You put the channel on what you want it on, and you take the remote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's how you stop that.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna turn your back, and then while you listening to what they watching in there, you're gonna hear some gay shit. You're gonna hear about
little Timmy
and little Joey together. You know what I'm saying?
If I know the schedule of Disney. If I know the schedule of Disney, or I know that, okay, Bluey, they have 9 hours of cartoons on YouTube, and I can subscribe for $9.99 a month, and I can now I can't be 100% positive, but I can start to eliminate.
Exactly. Right? Of course, and you know what I mean, that's what goes on, but I'm just saying, man, but goddamn, why the fuck we gotta fine tooth comb the kids shows? That's because all I'm saying, hey, look, I ain't debating that. All I'm saying is we don't like how they're putting it in our kids' face.
Right.
It is going on. Saying, that's what I don't like.
Like you always say, okay, what's the solution? What's the solution, right? Exactly. The solution to knowing what their agenda is to not allow them to apply their agenda to our children. That means that we have to take extra precautions. You know, we have to become more diligent because we know they're under attack. I'm not saying that you don't do it. I'm not saying KB don't do it. I'm not saying nobody, but if we worried about our children being attacked, we got to stop talking about it. We got to find.
Hey, Hey, I'm
You
not
know what?
worried
I
about it.
think it's
I'm just
funny.
saying that's the thing. That's the thing I don't. We was talking about that whole agenda, and I'm just saying that's the part I don't like about it. You know what
It's
I
Yes,
mean?
funny
They
sir.
put
because
it in our kids' face.
a long time
Yes, sir.
ago,
It's in the books. It's in kid books and shit.
my daughter, about 14, 15, maybe even younger, that one of her favorite shows was RuPaul's Drag Race. Still is to this day. And I'm like, what? For me, just the way I was raised, I don't get it. Now I'm also an individual who everybody laughed at last week because I said I still crease my pants. So it kind of shows you how old my mind really is. But I didn't get it. I'm like, I don't understand what is this? With you watching this with drag queens and like, cause growing up in the 90s, we looked at RuPaul. That's like, man, for real? Look at this
Yeah.
dude. It was like, man, look at this dude. And he's been on TV for 30 years, right? It's like Boy George when we were little. It's like 80s androgyny in the 80s, especially with the rock stars, was running wild. Brothers show some of the costumes they used to perform in back in the days, and it's like, oh, that's suspect as hell. So that element has always been in society. Like I don't we're not saying that didn't exist. Like it wasn't gay people. Wasn't no gay people in the 70s. Well, that's a lie. You know that to be a lie. They've always been here. They've always been
Right.
part of our community. We all have a gay cousin, a gay family member. That's what I'm saying. Like, especially for me, I don't understand how somebody could say I'm homophobic, right? Like but I choose to be. I feel like I'm a heterosexual male. So when I looked at my daughter watching this RuPaul's Drag Race, I didn't get it. But I've heard, like my last job, there were a lot of college age sisters, 23, 24. I heard them talking about, well, what did you do this weekend? They know places in Milwaukee where there's drag shows. They're drag bars. Is that what they call them? Y'all help me now, because I'll get in trouble for that. Is it called a
I
drag
don't
bar?
know.
A
I
gay?
don't
I don't
know.
know if it's a gay club or a
I
drag bar.
don't know what they
I don't
call it,
know.
man. That's above my pay
Right.
grade.
Right, I was waiting on
Right. I
somebody
don't
to
know.
answer.
See.
I was waiting on one of y'all
Yeah.
to say, "Well, it's called this," and this one on
Not gonna
17th.
happen.
And I was gonna be like, "Oh no, that's where you be at. That's where you be at." But no, they were talking about how much they enjoy it. So for this is now like an accepted form of entertainment. So it's not that she's gay; she's entertained by it. So I understood that. I said, "Okay, well, that's what she watched." Now I'm never gonna sit down with her like, "Girl, let's watch this last episode." But I'm not offended by it being on TV. I'm just not gonna watch it. I'm okay. So let's move on. Ruben says, if Yahweh considered homosexuality an abomination, how be it that man finds it okay? That's a different argument. That's a religious argument.
What is
And some
that?
people say they don't believe in religion, but they say they believe in that.
That's for the Sunday show.
Right. Hold on for that, right? Erica Veal says, wasn't Obama gay? Didn't he make same-sex marriage legal? Was he gay? I thought people used to
Huh?
say Michelle was a
I don't
man.
know
Remember
if
they
that.
kept
I don't
saying
know if that make you gay, like for doing that.
he was definitely pro-gay.
Right, you could say that.
Yeah, he was definitely pro-gay. Sharon Evans said we'll normalize everything except for black. Yeah, it's much easier for them to try. They've gone the length of trying to normalize that way more so than they've,
So hey, I gotta interject because I want to ask a question, right? Because looking at how many of us have openly accepted females have gay friends there. You can't talk about their gay friends, right? Better not talk about them. Obama is president, and if his views, if he stood on his Christian values, do you think he would have won that second term? Do you think the black
No,
voter turnout would have been as high for Obama if he would have came out and said, well, you know what, my stance is that I don't agree on homosexuality?
it would have been over. And I didn't expect him to do that because this is an individual who disavowed himself from Minister Farrakhan. Minister Farrakhan tried to endorse him and he wouldn't even accept the endorsement. That let
Well,
me know
he
what
walked
we was
away from
into.
Christian. He walked away from the pastor too, though.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
yeah.
Yes, Jeremiah Wright. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He denounced all his black ties.
Right. And he joined the NAACP.
So what does that take? Yeah, because they so is the NAACP, are they controlled or are they tolerated?
Controlled, most definitely. Mama Jenkins says Sodom and Gomorrah. Erica Ville said RuPaul was a television mind control. Is a television mind control.
Is ain't no was.
All right, he's still on. He's more popular now than he ever been. Dion says one black person do something and it represents all black men. So if you have white people who've never had interaction with black people, but they see homosexual black men on TV, I get where you're going with that. Well, they'll get reminded quickly when they run across, a heterosexual
Dude,
male. It's like, nah, I thought, no. Believe it or not, and this is Dion, it's white people who have never actually seen a black person, but on TV or from stereotypes. I'm like, see, that's funny to me that you said believe it or not, because the one thing about America is there's only really one race that is able to isolate itself from everybody else, and that's white people. There, we know. Listen. I've been to North Dakota, and North Dakota has changed now a lot because of the oil up there. But I was there pre-oil in the early mid 90s. Montana, South Dakota, Minnesota, deep Minnesota, not the Twin Cities, Iowa. I'm talking about northern Wisconsin. Yes, they can go to a place and live in a town where they never have to interact with us. And minimally, maybe one or two. Like, I never really even I had so many white kids tell me when I was in school, there was never any black people in my town. Like, I never really even got to talk to. So their image was of us at that time was what was happening with rap. So with Snoop, they thought we all was from the projects and we was bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. And a lot of us came from the city repping that. And so they felt, well, it's confirmed. That's really life. The rap videos, that's why you get those wiggers. It was a very interesting movie one time about some white boys from Iowa. I forget the name of it. And they just was acting hip hop and they wanted to be hip hop so bad. And they ended up going to Chicago, getting really toe off and almost killed. It's an older movie, man. But they was really in their little Iowa town. They was just really emulating the culture.
Hey, they had another one was Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah. That one was comedy, Kamar, but this one was drama. This one was a drama. Like they literally took their dually pickup and drove from Iowa to Chicago to buy some crack. We're gonna go to the city and get some real crack. It was a crazy movie. I'm gonna get the name of it. I think it might be called White Boys. I think that might be the name of it. That was a 2000s movie. Deborah Jenkins.
Can somebody in the chat room check that out?
She said, I don't like niggas and flies. That's what Mama Jenkins said. My mom used to say that, niggas and flies. The more I hang around niggas, the more I like flies. I used to be like, damn, that's fucked up. Tiarsha said he wasn't gay. He just gave them their rights in terms of Obama. If they want to get married, let them. Why keep forcing them to marry someone straight like they used to back in the days? That's true. Let them do them. That's what I'm saying, Tiarsha. I'm not against that. I'm not against that. Let them do them.
These nigga.
Right? Like, why would you look? Why would you say I don't like women? No, you're gonna marry this woman. Why would I do that? It seemed like, okay, well, I want to marry this dude. Okay, well, y'all gonna get married then. I don't.
But it used to be like that. It used
did
to be like that where you were forced.
It did. And I say this though, ever since they legalized gay marriage, it seemed like after that, everything in anything start going. That's all I'm saying. I'm not blaming gay marriage. I'm just saying after that, and I seen people not that because we didn't have all this pansexual, trisexual, duplicate sexual, non-binary, non-gender. All this stuff comes after they say, okay, gay marriage is legal. Then people just start defining themselves however they want to. And maybe that's for the greater good. Maybe that's for the greater good.
Making up words.
Yeah, man. People now who's like, I don't have a gender. Like, well, okay, how do you use the bathroom?
What amazes me,
motherfucker, what is you, alien?
What amazes me is that this minority of people in the world, right? They have taken our civil rights, taken ownership of our civil rights, and they have more freedom than we do.
They skipped us. We was in line and they skipped us.
Yeah.
Like, how they get to skip us? We've been sitting here for years. And it's like, excuse me. See, that's what make it bad when you start doing stuff like that. When you start doing impressions of them.
You already did it. You
I
already
know.
did
I
it.
know. Listen, though, some of that shit's funny. Listen, once again, people got to understand. Let me lay this out for y'all. Outlaw Radio is a show where we literally have done a show that had nothing but race jokes. Some of the most cruel and condescending race jokes. We did a show called For Shits and Giggles, and all I did was tell race jokes the whole time. I laugh at race jokes, even if it's a white dude telling them sometimes.
Me too. I don't care who it is.
As
If
long
that
as it
shit's
ain't
funny, I'm laughing.
right, but as long as it ain't no coon nigger shit. Like, I forget Louis C.K., who I used to always play his clip back in the days when he talked about black people going, it must suck. You'll never see in the movie where the black man go back in history and change like, it must suck if you're a black person and you go back in history. You could go back in time and you was anywhere besides pre-1980. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. Jesse Perry says, remember that white gay guy who called in last year? I don't remember, but now that you saying that, Kamar, did we get a call one night we were on from some gay dude? That sounds familiar to me.
That do sound like right, man. I don't
Yeah, man.
remember the call so much, but
Right.
yeah.
We've done so many shows. Like, it's like, dude, it's like I can't remember. Ruben Anderson said, good conversation. Good night. All right, my brother. Peace.
Peace.
Gonna turn out. Mama Jenkins said, just got my last warning from Facebook. I'm gonna get kicked the hell off Facebook. That's crazy. Tiasha said, get out your body, Kev. I'm not. Am I emotional? I didn't think I was.
Because that's an early sign of what Kamar calls Gatum.
She said she had to take down her comment. That's all it is now, transgender. Like, that's fine. Okay. But see, when somebody, you got to move the needle slowly. So for a person like me, you can't just rush me with all that. Like, hold on, slow down. I'm still getting used to this. Well, you dumped this on me. So, like, that would be, and I'm explaining myself because that would be my explanation to my son when I would say, look, I'm not comfortable with you sitting in here with dude cuddled up watching TV. I'm just getting over the fact that that you're gay, and I've accepted it. But give me some time. Like, give me some time. Don't just throw it like, okay, I told my daddy, now we gonna have a wedding in their backyard in the spring. Oh, whoa, slow down. Right? You say you take me too fast. Slow the bus down. Just give me some time. I'll make the adjustment. I always do. Thoughts on old boy from Lovecraft Country on the mag. Jonathan Majors. Everybody was mad about what he did on Ebony magazine cover. I could be mad and I could say, hey, he's emasculated and all this, but I'm a Tupac fan, and Tupac once took a picture in a bathtub with just gold links on him or something. I knew that picture wasn't for me, though. Like, it's not like you could walk in my room. The picture I had of Tupac was with the Glock when he's sticking up his middle finger and he's thug life. I didn't have the one hanging up in my room where he was in the tub. That wasn't for me. I turned the page. Oh, shit, that ain't Pac. That's for the ladies. She said transgenders get a lot of attention. Transgenders get all of the attention. By the way, I was talking about the NAACP awards. Did y'all see Brittany Griner? Did y'all see
transgender? Wasn't a transgender just found in a burning house shot?
Maybe so.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
On 29th Village. Yeah.
Was it a transgender?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did y'all see Brittany Griner on the NAACP? She cut her dreads. She looks and sounds, and she was on there with her wife. She looked and sounded like a straight up guy.
Listen. Dude is big. Dude is really big.
Straight up.
Yeah, dude is what dude is.
Yeah, I just was amazed. Like, and my wife was like, wait a minute. Did she used to kind of look like? I'm like, hey, baby. I don't know, because I didn't want to get canceled. She said Michelle is a transgender. Oh, my God.
Who said
Erica
that?
Beale said Michelle Obama is a transgender organic robotoid.
God damn.
That's what Rick Muhammad used to say, that they was all clones and they were all locked up in Guantanamo Bay for molestation. Arthur said it's a restaurant and bars that have drag entertainers, like Hamburger Mary restaurants have drag shows. Okay. Yeah, I know it is. Ruben said, I get it, but how is it a religious topic if you've confessed and acknowledged Yahweh on this show Moreover, y'all just spoke on Christianity 2 seconds ago. Keep it real and touch the question today.
Huh?
No, hold on, Ruben. I said it is. If you say you bring up Yahweh, it is a religious conversation. I don't understand why you mad. I wasn't saying we couldn't talk about it. I said that ain't that a religious conversation? Kamar, correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah, it ain't no
nobody
problem.
ain't steering clear of it. I just called it what it was. There are some people who say it's an abomination. That's when anytime you speak about anything biblical, it is a religious topic. Not that we don't talk about.
So hold on, because if we talking about spiritually and religion, right? Everybody sins. Everybody has broken the commandments. One sin is not bigger than the next.
Right.
Well,
So,
yeah, okay.
so we can't judge people unless we ready to be judged.
Well, see, I didn't think in terms of, and that's crazy. I don't know, Ruben. I don't know if you maybe you heard something or picked up on something that we didn't throw out. Because once again, I don't think that we would ever duck talking about religion. We talk about it all the time. But the truth of the matter is, like Sean said, what I was taught was it's not committing the sin and repenting for it and not doing it again. That's what it's supposed to be. But when you talk about something like homosexuality, there is no repentance for it. You're repeating it and you're saying to God, and this is what, from a biblical perspective, that you said, I'm gonna do this and I ain't gonna repent for it, and I'm not sorry, even though you said it's wrong. So, like, if you lie, technically you're supposed to ask him to forgive you for lying and then not lie again. Y'all, am I right?
But still lie. Just like you got thieves, they steal, they go to church on Sunday and go right back to the stores on Monday and get to stealing. Are they any have they is their sin any worse than the man that sleeps with the man or the woman who sleeps with the woman in God's eyes?
You're right, Jesse. That movie was called White Boys. He said it came out in 1999. He's seen it. The movie I was referencing. But no, Kamar, I'm sorry, Sean. Like I said, I thought it was the fact that the whole point of it was that you're not going to repent. You're not going
Right.
to ask for forgiveness. You're going to come to church with your man and say, not only are we not repenting, we're going to get married in the church. I thought
It's
that's where the
acceptable
problem
now.
came with it. And I'm no preacher, so you'd have to get somebody who could, quote the scripture better than myself.
You have churches that minister is gay, congregation is gay, the band is gay. Everybody in there is gay.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
yet they still praising God.
They are. I've had a couple clergymen on here to address this very topic. I guess that's why I was a little bit surprised by Ruben's reaction, as if we've talked about this inside out with people who are religious, people who are conservative, people who are extreme. Everybody gets to talk. Everybody gets to put their opinion out here on Outlaw Radio. Nellie Fuller Jr. said the white supremacists should create 50 different genders. Okay. Dion said if Trump would have ended gay marriage, I would have voted for him. Dion said if he would have ended gay marriage. See, now there's an example. I just said everybody has a different opinion. Yes. And I guess that's why I say nobody should be offended by this show, because everybody who got an opinion gets heard. You feel me? It's like our conversation about Black History. It was obvious, Black History Month. It was obvious Sean didn't agree with Black History Month the same way I did, or Kramar did, but he wasn't like, fuck you, Uncle Tom's. Like, right? It wasn't like, it was maybe he was thinking that in his head, knowing Sean.
No, that was y'all. Listen, man, I'm not gonna tell you how to celebrate your life.
Right. You know that's what I'm saying. Let that man have his opinion. That's all. I thought that's what I've tried to create with Outlaw Radio, where you can be heard and nobody won't jump to conclusions. Like, I'm not going to label Kamar anti-Semitic because he says something negative that Jewish people do in his community. Man, these Jewish people over here are doing this or that to me. Oh, man, you homophobic. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that at all. I don't believe in stifling anybody. Everybody deserves the right to tell their truth and give their opinion. Caller, you live on Outlaw Radio. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this rude, man. Listen, I'm not mad about it. I caught something, and I was kind of making a comment on it. Brother Sean said, he said that's you said that's religion. Sean said that's a Sunday topic, and so I thought, when I came back on, I'm like, no, we talk about religion on here, so maybe I missed something in the process, but that's what I caught when he said it's a Sunday topic. It's like, okay, we ain't gonna talk about this. You know what I mean? So that's what that was. Other than that, I'm good with it. I'm not mad about it. I just want some clarity on it. You know what I mean?
That's all good. That's all good. Yeah. And I would hope nobody's listening to a podcast getting mad, quote unquote. But I get you. Clarity is everything, my brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah, you can't get mad about nothing like that, man. It's a great topic, man. You have a good evening, bro.
You too, my brother. You too. Peace, peace.
All right now.
Dion said homosexuality is unnatural. That is his opinion of it. Is it unnatural? I mean, it doesn't procreate. I'm just throwing stuff out here now, Sean.
Let me throw something out there. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it is unnatural because we have been taught that it's unnatural. For homosexuals, they don't feel that it's unnatural. Right now, what I was about to say, we often, well, not everybody, but there's a lot of skepticism with the Bible, right? A lot of people are questioning the Bible. However, we first learned of these commandments through this Bible.
Okay.
Now, getting back to this topic of homosexuality. You say that you don't believe in God or you don't believe in the word that's presented in that Bible, yet you still pass judgment based off of what you were taught from that Bible. Isn't that contradictory? Isn't that belief contradictory?
It sounds that way, Sean. Honestly, once again, if somebody said, "Well, Kevin, you can't tell me that I'm homophobic," but they would say, "Well, why do you think?" If somebody said, "Why do you think being gay is wrong?" For me, it wouldn't be a philosophical thing. Like, I'm not the person that's gonna say, "Even the Bible say."
Right.
I'm gonna say, "Well, I don't think nothing wrong with it. It's just not for me." That's my stance on it all the time. It's like, why you don't like fish? I don't say fuck you if you eat fish. I don't eat fish. And so I guess my point is,
the answer would be because I'm not gay. It's just simple as that. Why it gotta be so?
That's the simplest answer.
Why we gotta make shit so difficult? Like, I don't like it because I ain't gay.
But when you say that, this is like when you say I'm pro-black and they say you're anti-white.
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
That's why they paint that picture of a motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For not being with the agenda again.
And once again, it's almost the same parallel because I'm a man of color from a black community, raised by some Southern black parents. I have a very large black family. There's very little interracial mixing in my family. That I come from the most segregated city in this country, and it has been for a very long time. So when it comes to who I hang around, I'm going to have more fun with a bunch of brothers who from the neighborhood that can relate to the community I grew up in, as opposed to hanging around a bunch of, white guys my age who are from a suburban or whatever. I'm sure we'll have some common ground, and I wouldn't take offense to it like, "Oh, you don't never come to my house, Bill. You racist." Maybe Bill just feel comfortable being around his fellow white people. And the same thing, but it should go for me too. When I say, "Man, I got to hang with some brothers, man, I'm going to go to a black place." It don't mean I don't like white people.
Right.
And for so long, if you've ever said you love black people out loud, they've created a narrative that you must hate white people then. This is the same argument. I'm not gay. Well, you must be homophobic then. No, I'm just not gay. And thank you, Kamar, for saying it. Now, when I say it out loud, I see how simple it actually is. You know what I mean? Have you ever thought about the simplicity of that? It's like, why you see two dudes kissing, I say, "Oh my goodness." And they say, "Well, what's wrong with that?" And if I say, "Well, I'm not gay," they be like, no, you homophobic.
Right.
No, well, that was because of your reaction, though. No, your reaction had a lot to do in their determination. If you had just walked past, they would not have noticed and asked the question. But your reaction to what you saw, which was unnatural, which is a logical reaction, right? You're gonna react when you see something that's unnatural
or
that ain't nothing
unexpected.
we've been seeing our whole motherfucking life.
I'm
It's
catching my chat
unnatural,
room.
though.
Right.
She said you can't tell the difference. Some of them look that good. She's talking about transgenders. Said Brittany Griner sound like
I
a
ain't
man.
saying no. I'm not agreeing to that.
Well,
I'm
you
not
should.
agreeing to that.
Sometimes, most of the time, you could tell they have an underlying male kind of feature. But it's some of them who surgically enhanced, Sean. You be like,
Man, look, nope, and you know what? Y'all going to label me homophobic or whatever right now, but yeah, I got gaydar, bro. I ain't with that shit.
Nah,
look, I got a job
got
in.
gaydar.
I got a job. I got a
got
job in
gaydar.
corporate America.
Yeah,
And you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have a problem with any gay person.
I don't either.
But and if you come to work and you gay and we gotta do some work together at work, I ain't no issue. As long as you don't try to do something gay to me. But that would be a violation of my personal space. It doesn't matter if you straight or gay. So if you say, well, dude who sit right across from you is gay, I ain't gonna be like, move my desk. I don't want to be around no gay dude. I don't care unless he come up behind my chair and be talking about you need a back rub. Man, y'all gonna have to switch my desk or something. Like I'm just saying, like I don't know that.
I
There's
have
really
a
no
problem
safe way
with
to talk about it.
I don't have a problem with gay people as long as they don't approach me like that. But I do have a problem with the transgender that doesn't share that they're transgender when they're approached or approaching
Right.
the same gender.
You supposed to tell me.
I believe that that's bullshit. That if you're comfortable with yourself, then you should be comfortable enough to let that person know what's going on.
You're right. That's out of pocket for somebody to do that to you. At least let me decide. Because in some cases, some dude might be like, I don't even care. But don't be surprised if some dudes be like, hell no, man. I'm glad you told me. I mean, come on, man. You can't when you present yourself.
Don't be surprised and don't be surprised when you keep it secret and they find out and now you got
they want to do something to you. Right. But I think anytime you present yourself, your true self to the world, there are going to be people who are surprised by it. Like anytime, and it ain't even about gay, straight, black, white. If you say I'm who I am, this is my personality, I'm going to embrace it and I'm going to be me. There's always going to be somebody who be like, wow, like he's different, or what's wrong with that guy? Like, and it don't even got to be something that complicated. You could just be like, man, dude sure do wear a lot of bright colors. I do like colors. That's who he is. That's what he embraces. So, people just talk about other people for the hell of it. I'm catching up to the chat room. Rumor said he ain't mad. Yeah, I know we got that straightened out. Man, my chat room's lit. I want to get this out because I do want to talk about the police here in Milwaukee before we get off the air. He said, "OMG, Sean." I think I'm catching up the chat room. Sean said, "Stop it." I feel you, Sean. Said it was a Sunday topic, and I questioned it. I got you. I'm still catching up. We straighten it out. Sharon Evans said most churches condemn homosexuality. Mama Jenkins says some of them are gay with a wife in church.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out, Reverend Johnson. I'm not let me take that back. I was making that up. Not no specific.
Yeah, see, there you go. There you go. Because I know a couple.
Right, you heard what KB said about you on the radio. Erica Beale said, I found out the Bible is just an allegorical story. There's people say that. Brother Reuben said Islam teaches the same thing, so it's not just the Bible. Either it's right or it's wrong. Okay. I love the different perspectives. Dion says gay people know what they doing is wrong because they always defending their sexuality. Jesse, he says not about acceptance, it's about coercion, forcing this agenda on us, and it's unnatural. It goes against the order of nature. Sharon Evans said, I have the same response when people kiss their dog. It doesn't mean I don't like dogs or dog lovers. Yuck. Thank you. That's a great way to put it. That's a good. You know what? That's genius, Sharon. I don't agree with letting your dog lick you in the mouth, right? And so if I walk somewhere and I see you with your dog and your dog is licking you in the mouth, I'm gonna go, what the heck? Like,
Now
ugh.
you dogophobic.
Right. Now you're gonna say he doesn't like Labradors, right? he, he- he's shepherd phobic. Right. Thank you, Sharon Evans. That's probably the best way to put that. Like, it don't mean I hate the person. It don't mean I'm like, kill them niggas for kissing. I'm just like, oh shit, that shocked me because that's not something I'm used to. I think I have the right to do that. Now, I haven't heard any other information about the brother who was shot on 91st and Silver Spring. And the media is good at kind of spreading. Once this happens, they put out more information about the individual's criminal record. So they talked about some charges he had. And so I haven't heard any more information in regards to him. People are saying, because we still don't know. Was it confirmed that it was a gun? Did we ever? I think the film, some of the police, the footage has been released. Did he point the weapon at the police? Does anybody out there have any further information regarding this? Because people was bloodthirsty last week, like we need to burn this motherfucker down.
So I did see still footage from different angles, and one angle it looks like he is holding the phone. However, if he's holding the phone from that angle, it's very suspect. Then the two other photos I have, it looks as if his hand is around the barrel of a very big gun. The question that needs to be asked, and you asked it, was did he point the gun at officers though?
Right.
We need to know how many of those bullets out of the 10 that were fired entered his back.
Right. And how many people shot him?
Yeah. Well, no. The footage
Just
only
one?
shows one.
Okay.
But
Now,
it was also at least 10 shots.
Okay. We still in the vein of seeking justice, right? Like understanding what the situation is, because we understand now that these two cops have been charged, two police officers have been charged for partially being responsible for the death of the young brother Keyshawn Thomas.
Yes.
In the jail. And so what we found out is, because at first people were saying they beat him to death. But now allegedly, from what I read, they did not beat him to death. What they did was they did not do their rounds, and they didn't get him medical help when he was obviously sick from allegedly swallowing some drugs.
So I can comment on that. I know the dad and I know the auntie. The officer, he informed the officer that he had swallowed the drugs. And the officer gave him a garbage can to throw up in. You can see him kick something up under a garbage can, and he told the officer he had swallowed these drugs. Instead of taking him to get his stomach pumped or Narcan, whatever, he put him in the cell and went in, got off work.
And they lied about the logs. They didn't actually check on him like they should have.
Neither of the officers. The other officer that took over after him, he actually failed to do his rounds and lied. The question now is, did the Waukesha police who were investigating it, were they a part of a cover up? And I just want to say, man, that I don't know this district attorney. I haven't heard his name. I haven't had the chance to really research him, but I want to applaud him for having the courage to charge them officers, even though it's not the appropriate charge. It may set precedent to get other officers charged for crimes, and that's what we need to build on.
Okay, so but if this youngster swallows some drugs, are the police responsible?
If you tell them he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once he's arrested, yeah, they take responsibility.
They got to it's their job to keep him alive, also.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mama Jenkins.
It's supposed to be their job to keep him alive.
Right.
Mama Jenkins said, "No, we got to ask the chief. He got all the damn answers." Well, I want to know. Right. Well, I'd like to know. Are they sharing? Sharon Evans says, so he didn't shoot the cop. No, he didn't shoot the cop. The cop shot him. Erica Hunt, how you doing, my sister? She said, good evening, Outlaws. Listen, and here's the thing. Okay, so even with the young brother, and I didn't get his name, the young brother who's, I believe, 19, who actually murdered the police officer a couple weeks ago.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I thought, what did I say?
Who actually murdered.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Who allegedly murdered this police officer a couple weeks ago. Now, is there any further developments on that? Because that's been very hush hush. Like at this point, after all this time, I would have thunk more details would have come out by now. So we're actually waiting on that, and we're waiting on the real what happened with this with this police officer on Fond du Lac. So there's a lot going on, man, with police officers in Milwaukee right now.
We need to build on the small win that they gave us, right? Use that win that we have, charging those police, right? With that crime. They're facing 3 years. So it's a criminal offense. We need to use that to question the deaths of that officer and that young man.
Well, see, now we go back to our argument we had earlier, because I believe by that young man swallowing those drugs, he created a certain circumstance that dictated the situation. And I believe he chose, once again, like Kamar said, he made a decision.
Definitely show that.
Now he's a youngster, and rest in peace to him.
I'm
not trying to devalue his death, right?
I don't agree on the verbiage and how it's been switched, because he was in control of his situation, right? Up until the point he got arrested and he kept those drugs, right? Once he swallowed those drugs, and those drugs started to act with the chemicals in his body.
That choice right there.
But now the circumstances were out of his control. They were out of his control.
The fact that
he made a decision before it all happened.
He made a
decision, a conscious decision.
First off, he chose the lifestyle.
Right.
Yep. Yes.
So he created a certain circumstance where he was apprehended, and he swallowed it. So he put himself in a situation where he was sick.
No, he didn't put. He created a circumstance where he ended up dying.
We'd be up all night arguing about
that. Because if he was sick, he'd still be here. He ain't sick. He died.
Right, because he didn't get medical attention. He didn't get medical attention
over that situation, bro.
He controlled the situation by swallowing the drugs. If he don't swallow the drugs, he would have been sick.
If he don't swallow the drugs, he'd be alive.
He could have took the case, and he'd be alive.
Erica Hunt said when he admitted
see, that's what I'm saying. The decisions that we make, you know what I mean, determine different outcomes.
Yeah.
That's all my point is right there.
That's my point too. I mean, you have more control over what happens to you at the end. See, I always say this. When you get arrested for something, unless you so unlucky that you got arrested the first time you did it, your problem didn't start there, though. But hold on, your problem didn't start there.
On me, KP.
Right.
Just hear me out. Hear me out. Your problem didn't start there, though.
Right.
You was already on some other shit before you got caught for that. So the problem started as soon as you start fucking off. It didn't start the day you got arrested. That's your first flag to say maybe you need to chill, maybe you need to change your ways, right? But you motherfuckers still, I got caught in a stolen car the first time I got in one. But you had already went off the rails when you start hanging with individuals who do that, because somebody had to show you how to do it.
Right.
Somebody had to have the same interest to say, yeah, let's do that. Let's steal that. Erica Hunt said when he admitted that he ingested the drugs, they were supposed to give him medical attention. Okay.
Bam.
Okay.
Exactly. That too. But you know what I mean? Exactly. It was that too. You know what I'm saying? And see, they made a decision also. So the police made a decision to not help him. So now they should be dealt with because of that.
Okay.
Right.
I didn't know. I feel like nobody's talking about the fact that this kid is selling drugs and swallowing them, and like I feel like people are
Well,
not.
we're not. That's
He's
not
not
the
being
argument.
held accountable for his end. That's all I was thinking.
Nobody didn't say that he wasn't selling drugs. That was never the argument, right? His family never placed that argument out there. The argument was, well,
They should have done their jobs and helped him
they were
out.
supposed to do their job, and just there's a lot of this case that they're not talking about, and I'm
Right.
going to talk about what I do know because it's public knowledge. They took him out of a truck, his truck, right, and left the truck on Capitol and came back and got the truck. The police drove the truck to the police station.
Okay.
It wasn't towed to the police station. So there's a lot of questions about the
If he even had
procedures.
drugs.
Well, he had them because he ingested them. That's not the argument.
Right.
The argument is the surrounding circumstances, right? If you knew that he had drugs, how did you let him come from Oklahoma? Y'all followed him from Oklahoma. Then when he crossed the bridge, the surveillance was picked up by Milwaukee police, and he was pulled over when he got to 23rd and Capitol. You knew he had the drugs for how many miles? There's a lot of questions that aren't being answered. So
my perception of this is people say, well, what's the problem here? Well, the problem is you shouldn't have swallowed the drugs. My thing would be, no, the problem is you shouldn't sell drugs. Right? Yeah. So I look at it like that. Like, it ain't, well, you shouldn't swallow them. No, you shouldn't sell them. But
it's a root to every problem, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
Usually it starts with a decision. You know what I mean? You can't create nothing without a decision.
That's right. You dictate. You have a lot more control than you.
Everything begins with a thought.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Come on. Mama Jenkins said, no, you got to ask the chief again. I think I read that right. Police are arrogant now because protesting hasn't been as strong as it was in 2021. Yeah, that went away real quick in Milwaukee for several different reasons. And we know some of us know what they are. Some of us don't. Sharon Evans says, Sean, what was he trying to accomplish in consuming the drugs? Not getting caught with them.
Right. Yeah, he was trying to avoid a new charge.
Right.
Hoping that he could. I can only assume, but hoping that there would come a point in time when he could throw them drugs up and if he was to be released, he still got drugs.
Go do your time, man.
This is something else that they're not releasing. And I can speak about this too because it was already spoke about. Allegedly, he had just got fresh.
Okay.
So if he had just got fresh and y'all didn't find no drugs, but y'all followed him and y'all knew he had the drugs, y'all brought the truck back to the station. So obviously y'all searched it. When y'all didn't find the amount of drugs that y'all knew he was allegedly supposed to have purchased, that was a red flag right there. Where are those drugs at? They are required to search all vehicles for drugs that they bring into the station.
Hey kids, don't sell drugs. Erica Hunt said. Erica Hunt says that scenario could also be applied to the police. The police chase that job, and they understand that criminals will digest harmful drugs to get away with the crime. So if police already understood that part of the job, police have more experience with people digesting drugs than a young teenage boy who just sells them. Don't sell drugs. Death is not the penalty for selling drugs. It's not. But it can surely be a consequence of it.
It's the penalty for swallowing them, or it can be the penalty for swallowing them.
It can
How
be the
about that?
penalty. That whole lifestyle is
I
death.
mean, and again,
especially if you
I
don't.
ain't trying to take nothing. I ain't trying to take nothing away. You know what I mean? Again, I ain't trying to be brutal. I'm just, you know what I mean. We just being intellectual about decision making.
That's
So
it.
let me
You know
ask
what
you
I'm
this.
saying? Like
Let me
death,
ask you this.
you can die from swallowing drugs.
Let me ask you this. So when I was going to school, we had health classes where we actually learned about the body and the functions of the body. And I knew, after these classes that there were chemicals inside my stomach, right? That helped break down the food and all in the digestive tract and all that shit. Can we look at the education system and say that they failed him as well because certain no? Okay.
No, because they still have health class in school, and they
Okay.
still tell you
I don't know
that
because
swallowing drugs
I
is
don't know
bad
about
for you.
MPS.
I'm just
I
trying.
do.
I'm just.
I worked with them very closely for the
Okay.
last 20 years.
You know they say. You know how they say like every unfortunate. You know what I mean? Every unfortunate event, we have to figure out how to learn from it. They even say this at funerals.
Yeah.
So this is my point right here. You know what I mean? This is what we have to learn from. You know what I mean? We got decisions that we make, man, that can cause certain things where certain outcomes can happen. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Right.
We have to learn from this, man. It's a bunch of different things we can learn from this. And it's a lot of stuff for us to fight for also.
Right. Tiarsha says one of his relatives said the drugs was left in his car by his cousin and he decided to swallow them. The first officer was going to take him to the hospital and for some reason decided not to take him. That's how the officers made it their fault. Okay. She said, I agree. Don't sell them. Sharon Evans agrees with you, Kamara. She said, but then who teaching those kids how to sell drugs? Because people die from being drug mules, and that should be drug selling 101. It is, though.
Yeah.
It is, though. And even if you're a youngster, you know who's the rapper Juice WRLD
I
a
knew
couple
it.
years
We
ago.
knew it when we was kids.
Right.
We knew
Juice
it when we was
WRLD.
kids selling dope. You know what I mean?
Just the little
man,
popular
you
rapper
that
just a
dope,
couple
dog, that
years
shit
ago.
might bust in your stomach. It's gonna be fucked up for you.
The little rapper who had all the drugs on all the pills on the plane, Juice WRLD, who got off and the feds was outside and he decided he was gonna swallow him and he died.
Yeah.
Kids know.
So
they just don't want to catch that case, man. I mean, I get it. You don't want that case. You don't want to go to prison. You know, but it's something you have to make a conscious decision here. You got to make a career decision, right?
Business decision, as Deion Sanders call it.
Yeah.
Because the statute of limitations is over, I can speak on this. But we used to get our weed and shit in prison, and we had our people triple and quadruple wrap it in balloons and condoms and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, because we understood that the digestive system would eat through the plastic, and the time it would take to eat through 4 balloons, by then it would have been in past, or I didn't throw it up.
Yeah.
I remember
that, man. I remember we used to have to do that for Big Cuz.
Real shit,
Put this shit in balloons, man.
Yeah, don't bring me no plastic. I'm not taking that.
I ain't thought about that since you just said it, man. I ain't thought about that since back then.
That's just, I just wanted to add to the point that was made about knowing what you get involved in.
Exactly.
So
she said
weed wouldn't kill you when it got in your system, but we just didn't want to fuck the money up.
Right.
She said,
yeah.
Erica said we can continue to say don't sell drugs, but they don't have the skills needed to sell drugs or work a job.
And that's the thing. That's the thing where information come in at. You know what I'm saying? It's a point. Like, okay, you don't go through your whole life and don't nobody ever say nothing about getting no knowledge, get some knowledge. You know what I mean? Go get a skilled trade. go get a job, go to school. You know what I'm saying? Like we go our whole lives hearing that, so it's on us to make that decision. Again, a decision just popped out my mouth again.
Okay. Let me see. Sharon Evans, she said they plenty of opportunity for them to learn an honest job. I can't once again, I think they have to, and I can't say this enough times. I'm not in any way saying that young man deserved to die. I'm not
Right.
justifying the negligence of the police. I'm
None
not
of that.
critiquing him for obviously making a critical mistake that cost him his life. All I'm saying is, Kamar said, anytime there's a this kind of crazy situation or a tragedy, we have to look at it and say, what do we learn here? And what I'm doing is I'm turning to the kids saying, kids, the moral of this story is don't sell drugs. And I know it
Just
sounds funny, it sounds corny,
Right.
but behind that, I'm going to tell them when they say, well, what else am I supposed to do, Mr. Barnes? Then I'll say, well, there's this thing called vocational trades. And
Right.
there's this thing called a liberal arts education. You have two choices. And under those two choices are many different occupations. Let's talk about what some of them may be. She said you can't blame the health class. Some of these dealers are now selling drugs. They got
now,
fentanyl on them.
Asha,
Taking pills recreationally is now a death sentence, meaning plenty of people are overdosing big time. We do have an overdose crisis here
tell
in
Tiarsha,
Wisconsin. We have for a long time.
Definitely.
I was just adding to the conversation. Wasn't no harm meant by that.
Shout out to Brother Jay. Says stop listening to mumble rap music that's not reality. Talking about pop pills, do drugs, drink, smoke weed, shoot and kill people. That's step one. These kids believe this music and it's not reality. Shout out to you, my brother, for watching on YouTube. Please share that if you can. Our YouTube
I can
numbers
agree
suck.
that would definitely help.
Yeah, but I grew up on The Godfather and gangster movies and New Jack City and
And
Gangsta Nip,
we
and
was fucked up for a while too off of that
we
shit.
were out here on some dumb shit. Erica Hunt said, I say it's the big homie fault. I asked a little ninja how many O's is a pound, and he didn't know. Yeah, that's kind of his fault too, though.
Hey,
Be in
that's
it to
just
win it.
like, hey, look, man. I was talking to a youngster about some weed, and this done happened a couple of times, man. They was talking about a quarter ounce of weed, right? And they was calling it a seventh. You know what I'm saying? With a TH at the end, a seventh, like an eighth. You know what I mean? And I'm like, or no, actually, dig this. Yeah, that happened too, and that was just weird to me that they called it that. I'm like, that's a quarter ounce, man. You know what I mean? Say that. But anyway, I was at this herb store, and I was getting some herbs, and she said, well, I told her, I said, well, if you got at least 70 grams, you know what I'm saying, that's cool. So she went and weighed it up. She said, oh man, I only got 3 ounces. I said, look, that's over 70 grams. You know what I mean? It's all good. But the conversation went to, you know what I mean, my past. You know what I mean? How I used
Right.
to sell dope and everything. And like how that comes second nature to me, talking about the different grams and the different shit like
And
that. That comes second nature.
and if people are tuning in, Kamar, he makes herbs and supplements. When he said I was at
Right.
the herb store, you said this
Yeah,
nigga was he was at the depository. You
he
get
was
him
getting
some weed.
2.5 ounces of
Right. He wanted to buy
herb.
3 zips from the weed store.
Yeah. These young
uh
motherfuckers, they had no clue about that type of shit though, man.
well, yeah. And we keep talking about the one of the biggest issues that we have as a community is so much misinformation because it leads to people making bad decisions. So now we're putting together what Kamar said decisions. Most of the time, if you're misinformed or underinformed or underserved, you do make bad decisions that put you in adverse situations.
Right.
So to go to the root of it is to say, okay, let's create more awareness about more things.
Right.
Let's make sure people are getting the fundamental understanding of things so that it can cut down the probability that you're going to make bad decisions. Now, I will say it's for teenagers. That's what you do as a teenager. You make a bunch of bad decisions, right? As a young person, you compound your bad decisions. You make double whopper bad decisions, right? And that's why I'm always like, okay, there's a chance at retribution if you're young and you make mistakes. because that's what we do. And I can't. I did so much dumb shit as a teenager. I could fill up 3 or 4 wheelbarrows, and I knew better. I had been told not to do this. I had said no, that's wrong. And I told the story all the time about the gang squad coming to our school in 4th grade and made all of us swear we would never join gangs and we were against gangs. And 3 years later, we was fighting each other because we had joined different gangs. Like, damn, we just all swear together. Now we gang banging. It's crazy. I gotta ask y'all a question too before I get out of here. It's 10 o'clock. So we don't like to burn the light too long because we'll be back Wednesday night. I seen Erykah Badu in an interview, and there's long been these myths of her having some kind of mystical powers, right? And like men being driven crazy by her, and
That's a
like you
good
can't
shot.
look her in her eyes, and all this kind of stuff. First, I'm here to say I don't believe there's a woman on this earth that has that kind of power.
She's got a good shot. That's all, bro.
Well, no, she says, but she answered the question very wisely. She said the reason why men fall in love with me so easily is not because of what's between my thighs, it's because of what's between my ears, right? And so conversation rules the nation, right? And mouthpiece is mouthpiece, and some people who provide you with information that you perhaps never have heard before can influence your decision making. So you make a decision to dress like she's dressing and do what she asks you to do.
Let
I
me
don't
say something.
believe.
Well, it ain't even that is what she asked you to do. It's just that what you may feel like doing. I think she get brothers to let go of a whole bunch of this shit that motherfuckers be on in society. You know what I mean? Turn the TV off for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at you. Who are you really? You know what I'm saying? Are you really the one that's the shoot 'em up, bang bang type of nigga, or really do you want to be at peace? You know what I mean? Do you want this drama, or do you want to be able to walk around peacefully? I mean, you know what I mean? And let certain shit go. I mean, that's what I think it is. I don't think it's that she telling nobody to be no certain kind of way.
Or that she has some magical power.
I don't think it's her. She said that it's not what's between her legs, but it's what's between her ears. If that's the case, where's your husband at then? Where's the one man that's supposed? I mean, shit. That says, you know what? God damn it, I have caught this ultimate goddess, and she just emotionally, spiritually, mentally, her conversation and yeah, her. No, bro, is obviously that's not it because you don't have a husband either.
Well, I also want to say too, I'm not naive enough to not understand that a woman coming into your life as a man can change your life. Like if you get a woman that, especially a woman that's good for you, right? Not only good to you, but good for you, it will change. You will change. You see brothers who square up, who say, nah, man, man, I want to go in a different direction. I want to change. And
So
there's nothing wrong with that.
Did she change his life or did she enhance his life? Did she open up opportunities and avenues that
I think it's
you
more
never
than
imagined?
I think she changed. Well, I would say even in my own case,
did she enhance it?
It's about changing his perspective. Because I know with me, I never even would consider. I had never met any female that I considered I'm gonna marry her, or we'll have a family together, or I'm gonna have a kid by her. Until I met my wife, my perspective changed. Like, man, this is the kind of woman that you could do like that kind of stuff with. Like even with who I as thorough as I thought I was, and I'm gonna make sure, and I'm gonna go over this, and but the boxes checked off to the point where it changed my perspective, right? So when I did get to the point where I said, you know what, I think I want some kids, I said to myself, I've only really met one woman that I would be willing to have children with.
So let me ask you,
that was her.
So in changing your perspective, did she also enhance your life? Was a result of changing your perspective an enhancement of your life.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because
Okay.
if I didn't change my perspective, I would have been stuck doing the same. I'm here to
Doing the
tell
same.
you that I wasn't living, I was living very loose, right? I wasn't super thug, and it wasn't even about thugging, it was just about living, doing whatever I wanted to do.
Hey,
Right.
hey, let's look at the brothers. Let's look at the brothers who she did deal with. You know what I
Right.
mean? And let's try to figure out if maybe their lives may have been enhanced. I mean, Andre 3000. I don't think he did no worse after
He
being with
did.
her.
He was already who he was. He was
You know
already
what I mean?
3,000.
But that's what I'm saying. But I don't think he did no worse. You know what I'm saying?
The
Common
DOC.
was who
You
he
see it?
was.
Common was still Common. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think he did no worse.
He didn't fall off.
I can't say nobody did no worse by dealing with her.
Yeah.
And I heard in the interview, I heard Big Boy from Outkast say something very interesting. Because a lot of people would attribute Andre 3000, the change of his style, to Erykah Badu. But that's not actually where it came from. According to Big Boy, he said, when he spoke to him about it, he said, listen, we got to do like Parliament and them did. We got to dress like the music.
Yep.
I'm dressing because what we doing is the Southern playalistic is funk elevated. So I'm gonna dress like the music. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us said, see what Erykah Badu did, but that wasn't
Right.
really Erykah Badu who did
That
that,
was
and that's
him.
who he was anyway.
Right.
Right.
And you know
So
what I mean? And that's what I mean. Like maybe she just helped him become who he is. Sometimes women do enhances. Maybe that was her way of enhancing him. And maybe
well, I
he
like
felt like she enhanced him like that. We don't know.
What
I even like what Sean said about does it enhance? I think for me to enhance my perspective, definitely was an enhancement for me to say,
Right.
you know what, man, let me chill. Like, man,
Yeah.
let me be a father. Because I think
Yeah.
being a father is one of the greatest things that has happened to
Right.
me. I've had a
And then
great
it's
time
about
being a father.
enhancement in what? Like,
So
you know what I'm saying?
let me switch it up a little bit then, because we're talking
Right.
about men who have walked their own path, right? Andre 3000, shit. He was him before her. Common was Common before Common.
DOC. The DOC got a baby by her too.
You know, I mean, he was DOC shit. He was DOC before we knew about Erykah Badu.
Right. Right. Long before. Way
So-
long time before.
Right. So could it be that she's mistaken? Maybe it was the men that
Hey.
I'm,
Right. But she didn't say it. That was something that other people were saying, right, Kat?
Right. No,
That
yeah,
was
she
something
was
that
being,
other people were saying. They was questioning
No,
her about.
she said that it's not what's in between her legs, is what's in between her head that attracts men and keeps men. Hold on, baby. How do we know that?
Did she say keep men? Did they say
she said that they fall in love with. She said that men
they
fall in love with.
Right. Okay.
Well, okay.
Yeah,
So what did
you fall in love and out of love, though?
Yeah. What did you fall in love with, though, sister? Did she speak on that? We speak about the power that she says she has, but hell, I want to speak about the power that men got too.
All right, now sisters is chiming in. I love it.
Come on with it.
Sisters.
Let's do it.
Sharon Evans said, well, hold on. Erica Veal said it's called, what is this? IFA? Kamar, you ever heard of that? IFA?
Oh shit.
I don't know. She has to call in and explain that.
Erica Hunt said speak. Sharon Evans said we all have mysterious powers. Erica Hunt said it's a lack of knowledge in our community, so women who have a lot between their ears.
That's another good one too, man. I feel like we all do. Men and women have special powers.
She said, hold on, you cut my comment off. She said it's a lack of knowledge in our community, so women who have a lot between my ears, I think she meant their ears, are the women and men desire nowadays, because we could teach them something I didn't know. I think she's saying if we can teach each other something, if there's a mutual benefit, then it becomes more powerful. The attraction becomes more powerful. I would say it's okay for you to meet a woman who has an effect on you. Like, to me, that's like a rite of passage for a man. to meet a woman and say,
I think that's it, right? That's what we want, right? That's
but
what
you're
we look
right.
for.
But you don't want to, you shouldn't fall in love with a different woman every month. It should be
Also,
it should be a very rare
right,
occurrence where you say,
right.
man,
That's not possible. You ain't in love. You know what I mean? It's not
right. No,
possible to keep falling in
no.
love like that, man.
And every woman you deal with, because some
You
dudes
just a
have a track
sucker.
record.
You just a sucker.
Well, we used to call them simps, right? We used to call them simps. You just a simp, dog. She ain't got no powers. You just a simp. Like use an easy mark.
right.
But it is something to it. I'm telling you, I can remember. Y'all think I'm lying. I remember 1997 in Marshall, Minnesota, the first time I seen my wife walking through the student center. I swear I heard Bootsy Collins in my head. It was slow motion and everything. I'm telling you, it never happened before, never happened since. I was gone. Like, holy shit, I need to know who that is. I felt driven. I felt compelled. Like, who is that? Like, I was gone. So, and it wasn't that she had magical powers. It was just me saying, man, that's what I want. Like, I want to get to know her. So, and you should that every man should experience. It's a joyful thing. Every man should experience that, saying, man, I met this woman. Man, I'm really feeling her. Because it'd be like the dude that's 55 and be blaming women. Ain't no good bitches out here. That's why I ain't got no woman. No, bro, this might have something to do with you. You say, check your performance, right? That's why I always see single women who are older and there's ain't no good men out here. I'm like, nah, maybe it's you, sis. Maybe it ain't the brothers this time.
I swear I always feel like that.
Yeah, well, it's enough blame to go around. She said her example of being true to herself could have sparked a creative. He wasn't. There's your woman. This where the art of pillow talk comes from. Man, listen, man. All you brothers out here who swear y'all so gangster and so hard and had y'all ass broken down over a pillow on a mattress by a female before. You done told on your homies. Now you won't let it touch you. You done told one of your guys' business. You done blamed him for some shit he didn't do. Every man has done pillow talk before. I don't care. Yeah, you in the bed, she got you, and your ass talking. So where was y'all really at? That wasn't me. That was dude. But you know how dude get down, man. So okay, I didn't want to say, but you got a little girl over. You been told all that man business because it takes the pressure off your ass. Women do that. They have the ability to do that. Like, man, a woman can scramble your brain if you ain't smart. And before you know it, you be done gave up everything. And you think you in control. She done got your bank statement, your credit card, everything. She got 2 houses and a business in your name. And will leave your ass and you won't even have no rights to none of this shit. You can have my social security card. I love you, baby. Right. I mean, it happens all the time, man. But I would say it's a problem. It's worth having, man. She said the IFA is an African spiritual system.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looking that up.
Okay. She said facts is not that many amazing people out here. Well, it's somebody for everybody. It's somebody for everybody, right? And that's why you shouldn't be discouraged.
All depends on what's amazing to you.
Yeah, man. You say one man's trash is another man's treasure. You say, man, why you? Because how many times you had a homeboy with a girl and you like, dude, I don't know what's wrong with this cat. For her, because you be like, man, I ain't against him having a girl, but her, and he be like, man, you don't understand. She do something to that boy. She touch his soul, right? You can't understand it. Oh man, I hit last year, wasn't all that. Maybe she didn't touch you like she touched him. Lenny Williams said, or maybe you've never been in love like I've been in love. I used to hate that song. I used to really hate that song when my brother used to play it. Like, why is dude begging? James Brown said, behind every man is a strong woman. Correct. I believe there's a certain part of truth to that. I think having a good, strong woman on your side is an asset.
It is.
There's nobody who can tell me, no, man, you need. First of all, having somebody on your side is a good thing. When your ass laid out sick or you hurt or there's something you can't get done and you got somebody who say, don't worry about it, I got you. Oh, no, lay back, I'm going to take care of you. You be like, whew, as opposed to this motherfucker who just lonely at the crib coughing and hacking, ain't got nobody to call. Call one of your hoes. Ain't fucking with you. I ain't coming over there. You going to give it to me, right? I got kids. So it's good to have somebody, man. Orisha's Yoruba Nigerian spirituality, says Shay. I don't know what none of that means. I'm not gonna act like I'm enlightened.
Ifa.
Okay, that's what it is.
Come out talking about yeah.
Okay, man, I'm glad y'all so much deeper than me. Sean says I have the perfect beard care basket for you. Check out my
African
page.
spiritual shit.
Luxurious gift baskets, Evans. You know what? She sent me some stuff. I'm gonna put it in the People's News Network, and I gotta get a gift basket for my sister because she purchased some Outlaw Radio apparel. So I gotta return the favor. So I'm gonna get one of those gift baskets from you with the
Yeah,
beard
you
care.
got a gift basket, Cat?
I didn't get one yet. I'm gonna buy one from Sharon Evans. She sells
Oh.
them. She says she was
Oh,
talking
yeah,
to
that's
Sean,
right.
saying she got a beard care basket with stuff for his beard because he's combing his beard on the air, which is awkward. I don't know why he chose to, groom himself during the show, but I guess since I said we
Cause
finna get off,
I like even my beard looking nice, man. What you mean?
right? Okay,
What?
I see. I see you
And I
admiring yourself,
it as
right?
a mirror. So why not?
Erica Hunt just hit me with a haymaker. She said, "Let me ask you this: if your wife would have started talking and not making sense, would she still be your wife?"
Whoa.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that's part of it. That's part of it is that once I did start talking to her, I was like, yep, just like I thought. It was like it solidified what I thought. Like this is why I wanted to be with her. Because once she started talking, I'm like, damn, got a brother ready to chill. I was just there with it. Like,
Yeah.
and for me, she didn't even want nothing to do with me. She just thought I was a weirdo for looking at her until I started talking. And then she was like, oh no, I like this dude. 20 something years later, voila, right? So Jesse says Ifa is it's a Yoruba religion and a system of divination. I don't know. Its literary corpus is the Odu Ifa. Orumila is identified as the grand priest as he revealed divinity and prophecy to the world. Man, y'all is on one. DeSantos want all y'all locked up with this woke bullshit. Ron DeSantos is gonna get rid of you niggers in America. I'm telling you right now. That's another conversation. Yeah, it when it ain't just physical is when it counts the most. So if you're looking at a woman, you say, "Ooh, man, I just want to that's really just lust. But if you say, "Nah, man, I'd like to get to know her," or "Man, I love listening to her talk. She make a whole lot of sense." Now you know you headed in the right direction. She said, "Oh man, we doing free marketing. I have some info for you." Listen, we Kamara and myself, Sean has just come aboard, but Kamara and myself have prided ourselves over the last 5 years of telling people if you have anything you want to promote, event, product, service, book, you can come on Outlaw Radio and rep your heart out. Promise not to knock the stuffing out your egg McMuffin. All we expect in return is mutual support. So if you're gonna come on and promote yours, then support ours, right? I've bought plenty supplements from Kamara. He's bought hoodies from me, right? It's not just a one-sided thing. And so we support each other. So if you want to send me some stuff, I'll definitely put it up. I'm never like that. That's what Outlaw Radio is for.
And as long as your name ain't Sean, you will receive your merchandise from KB.
There's a lot of truth to that. There's absolutely a lot of truth to that, right? Since that's what you put in the universe, Sean. That's what you put in the universe. The only one that I messed up too. I'm doing good, but when I hit you with the bonus package for my mistake, you ain't gonna say nothing else about it, right? So it'll be good. Yoruba tribe. Erica Hunt. Erica Veal said Yoruba is a tribe in Nigeria. Okay. Erica Hunt says she's accepting new clients. Are your books in order? Now it's time to get started on your tax planning. Book today with Erica the Tax Pro at RoyalTaxServices.com. It's a great day to give your wallet the royal treatment. Royalty Tax Services LLC. Want the royal treatment? Hashtag sister rated. Erica Tax Pro, serving all 50 states. What did it say? File with me and get money. Biggest fund ever. Better Business Bureau accredited business, AFTR member. 414-367-4448. Call Erica. Erica, I'll put it in the People's News Network for you. How about that? about that?
And she didn't say biggest. She said biggest refund, not
Ever.
just
Okay.
the biggest refund. She gonna
You're
get you
right,
the
Jesse.
biggest.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about DeSantis and his movement on Wednesday. Sharon Evans said, "My outlaw shirt is fire." Thank you, my sister. Shout out to my wife.
Thanks a lot.
Uh, right, right. No, you'll get it. I listen. I still don't even understand how the mistake happened. Really, I don't. Because I know specifically. I went to get
Come
stock,
on,
and I
dude,
said
bought me a 2X.
no, and that wasn't even
What
yours.
am I gonna do with that, bro?
That wasn't even yours. That's the
Right.
fact.
Give
Like
it to
the
me.
reality is, no,
I'd have got a ball. You still got it. I'll buy it from you.
no,
No,
I didn't.
And
that
then
was
you can buy the
I'm glad
I
I
didn't.
didn't give it to him. I'm glad he didn't take it because it was somebody else's. Because I didn't have that was the closest thing is that I had to. He wanted a large, and once again, I'm not blaming nobody. I'm not blaming nobody, but I know I had things written down on a piece of paper while I was getting my stock. I wasn't freestyling, and I remember picking up saying this is for Sean. I don't know what happened to it, but like I said, I'll make up for it. It'll be done before the end of the week. It'll be on your back. So you'll get it. It's all about customer service. So I'm gonna make sure the customer was right. I had the wrong size, and I'm gonna make amends for it. So that's all it is. That's all it
I
is.
I'll give you a good review on Yelp, my brother. No problem.
No doubt, man. No doubt, man. Erica Hunt said one of her clients came in with an outlaw hoodie. That's dope. And that's what we want to see. I want to see people. I seen Kamar on the video the other day with one on. I'm like, there you go, bro. Rep the colors, man.
yeah, man. Man. Hey, man.
And I'm telling you, the zip ups is fire. Even if you got the classic pullover, and you say that's dope. Everybody who's gotten the zip ups is like, man, this is fire. I'm telling you, black or gray. Holla at me, man. Listen, we talked about a bunch of stuff tonight. And like I said, I hope people ain't offended, but if you are, sometimes you might have to check your own position. Sometimes we go into situations looking to be offended. Sometimes we just want to have something to say. It's okay for me to not know certain things, like, right? So when I hear people talk about, well, I don't watch the show P Valley because of this, because of that, and I say I've never seen it, right? Because of what I was told was the narrative of the show is not something that I approve of, or that I would want to partake in or see. I'm saying that we all have the right to make decisions. You have the right to your opinion. You have the right to make choices. And what we need to understand is we got the right to make positive decisions as well, right? Like, so if you say, I'm not going to do something because I feel like I would be better off if I didn't do that, or if I didn't behave like that, or if I didn't go to that place. We get into problems when we start doing things that we know in our heart are wrong, but we do them anyways. When we get influenced by negative influences that talk us into doing things that we know we shouldn't be doing, because deep down inside, all of us know right from wrong. Some of us just do a better job of not paying attention to that little voice in their head. And I understand young minds. I understand the impulsiveness of a young man, what they say, young, dumb, and full of cum. I understand all of those scenarios. But even in that regard, when that accountability factor comes in, you have to say to yourself, I know better than this. That's what ultimately helped me change my direction. When I said to myself, finally, you know better than this. You know better than this. Yeah, it's the thing to do. Yeah, this is how we get down. Yeah, this is what the community has given us. But deep down in your soul, you know this is not what you should be doing. Right? I knew that. And once I started listening to that voice saying, now what do I do? Well, I change the situation. I change the circumstances because I'm not going to put myself in the same places. I'm not going to be around the same people. I'm going to look for places and people to be around that aren't involved with negative things. I'm going to surround myself with positive people. I'm going to start thinking positive. I made that decision just like I made the decision not to give a fuck prior to that. So that's why I always say I don't give people a whole lot of gravity when they blame everybody else for their fuck ups. I think at a certain point, the number one thing that we need to start teaching our young people again is accountability, right? It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. And ultimately, you have to understand that whatever you do, you will suffer the consequences or benefit or reap the benefits from whatever decision it is that you made, right? So I don't walk around looking to get offended by something because I don't disagree with it, right? I take responsibility for myself and say, is that something that you're interested in? If it's not, I just keep it moving, right? So what we have to remember is that old school saying that they used to say on the block, speed on before you get peed on. And when I piss, I don't miss. That means if you ain't with it, keep it moving, man. I'm going to see y'all Wednesday night, man. We'll be back for Outlaw Radio. I think Vince Tony will be here. Conversation could go left, could go right. You never know. Vince Tony will be here. Tierman Spencer was supposed to be here tonight. I had a great breakfast with Tierman. Sean, we need to chop it up. I had a great. We had a great time, and it was good to see all the brothers in the building. And I do recognize that some individuals come into the room and they really have nothing positive to say. So that just ultimately means their criticism of the community outweighs their contribution. And at that point, I just label them a coon and keep it moving. I will see y'all Wednesday night, man. Peace and love.
Peace.